we go. We are diving into that grand finals. I believe betting is closing or already closed at this point, so I hope you were able to get your predictions in as we are here in the grand finals and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Abydos. It is Kuro.
And in the top right corner, we have our red Zerg player representing Basilisk and Italy. It is Reynor.
Game paused.
Perfect timing. A+.
As we have a little bit of latency, so hopefully everything is okay. But this is also a good time to talk about what's happening because Reynor's going for a 12 pool.
Do you think this is like mind games? Like, you know, oh yeah, I'm definitely not cheesing or anything. This is just lag.
Maybe. But yeah, this is really interesting. So you don't see 12 pools too often in this matchup. There are players like Miyamaika. He 12 pools very often in ZvT. At the highest level of play, though, again, it's not really something you see. So,
ooh, he's actually DCing.
Yeah. So it's really cool to see Reynor mixing things up in game one, going for the 12 pool of all things. Yeah, quite a dynamic way to start off the series.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like that definitely like sets the tone for the entire best of 5, right? But yeah, this is a little bit worrying. We may have to maybe restart the game or something because yeah, Reynor has been lagging a little bit, and I wonder if this is once again connected to all these routing issues or not. I guess we'll have to find out.
I doubt it. The routing issues seem to be very different from just like lagging or DCing.
Okay.
So yeah. As you're saying though, hopefully everything is okay. Hopefully Reynor is able to like close Steam, stop his downloads. You know, maybe turn off the Wi-Fi. And
no, he's just gonna go. Doesn't he still live with Skills? He's just gonna go to the other room, like tell Skills to stop playing.
Yeah. Tell Skills to get off the Wi-Fi. Get off the Wi-Fi. So we're gonna be waiting for that to resolve. As you were saying, we may have to even remake the lobby just in case there's like a bad node or something like that for Europe, which sometimes that happens. I know that's a thing on the European server, is that there are like, I know that this affects a lot of like the Eastern European players, like they like depending on the node, it does affect them differently.
Yeah, and you can't really like pick a server on Europe either, so
yeah, you just have
it's like with whatever.
Well, it's happened in OSC King of the Hill before, where we just remake the lobby. We just remake the lobby until we land on a better node.
You just remake the lobby and pray, basically.
Pretty much. Oh. So yeah, hopefully it isn't too much of an issue, and hopefully we're able to play out our finals as well. It would be a shame if this were to force like a forfeit or something like that.
So, how have you been like?
I'm sleepy. I was streaming just before this. I was streaming a solid ladder session. I think I streamed for like 4.5 hours. Pretty good ladder session overall, but it did expend a lot of my energy. I was very tired afterwards. Very tired.
Yeah, understandably so. But it looks like we have, well, let's call it resolved the issue. And we are back into the game, and Reynor is still playing.
Yeah, here we go. It is that 12 pool. It looks like we are diving back into this. And so 12 pool, I'm curious how committed we're going to be here with this. Ideally, we want to send, obviously, our links across the map. Ideally, we want to avoid the scouting Reaper and deny the CC on the low ground. Now, I think this is really smart against Kuro because Kuro very often skips his SCV scout. So we'll see if he does send out his SCV once the barracks is done, or if he stays at home and relies on his Reaper scout instead.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think. Okay, I'm voting he will skip it. I don't think he will scout. I think he's too confident for that.
Yeah, it happens a lot in some of the other matchups we have noticed from Kuro. He can be very greedy at times. The SCV, though, is going to be moving out across the map, so this is going to give Kuro a bit of a heads up, potentially. This Overlord of Reynor is going to spot the SCV, and Reynor, he's going to avoid the SCV as a result.
Yeah, nicely done by Reynor. So Just barely the SCV misses the Zerglings, and they will be rolling straight into the base of Cure, where he does take that lower ground.
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, the second SCV though.
Yeah, the
Or
Lings.
rather, this is the same SCV.
Yeah, the Lings do reveal themselves to that first SCV. He also spots the timing of the hatchery, so Kuro is now aware he should be keeping his Reaper back at home. Is going to be sending the Reaper out a little bit though, but he does pull back in the end. Can he save this CC? He may lose the SCV building, but he may be hoping to hold on to the orbital.
Yeah, it looks like Reynor was a little bit indecisive. He was trying to get into the main base, but Cure was there to close the door, and now the Zerglings will be dancing with the Reaper instead.
Oh my god, yeah, he almost gets us around as well. It looks like one SCV may just barely fall down, but this Reaper has done a great job at dancing with these Lings. And again, the Reaper did stay at home because the SCV confirmed those Lings as well. Confirmed the build, confirmed the opener, and Cure should be able to get this back up and running.
Cure is playing with fire though. Like this Reaper is really low, but he just keeps going forward towards the Zerglings. But it looks like he was able to hold this, and he's able to finish his CC quite decently on time.
Yeah, it was delayed, but it wasn't cancelled. And if you look at the units lost tab, he only lost one SCV, so that could have been a lot worse for Cure. Again, thankfully he was able to react in time, and thankfully he kept his Reaper at home because of that SCV scout earlier that we were talking about. Meanwhile, Cure is going for a third CC before Starport, so a very economic follow-up as well.
Yeah, so I guess we will be seeing a bit of a macro game from these two players. Despite the starting this with a 12 pool, it looks like both players are going for their macro builds right now, and yeah, we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah, as Reynor throws down a very early Roach Warren as well. So he started off being the aggressor with the 12 full, and he's going to continue to be the aggressor as well. It makes a lot of sense. When you 12 full, you delay your gas. As the tumor goes down. But when you 12 full, you delay your gases. So because the gas is so late, he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to skip link speed. I don't care about link speed anyway. I'm just going to go straight into roaches.
Yeah, that looks like the choice. It looks like we still have some technical issues, and we'll see if we can get this solved.
Ah!
Has Reynor watched our stream recently?
Reynor, he has tuned in before. That has happened. But yeah, unfortunately, Reynor, he is experiencing some latency issues, so we're gonna hopefully that doesn't impact and influence this game too much. It's a little bit out of our control. It's possible that maybe once this game ends, maybe then Reynor can like restart his router or something like that. That could definitely be a possibility. Otherwise, yeah. What else can we do? What else can we do?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of online competition, that technical issues just sometimes just happen for no reason really.
Yeah, exactly. Should I message Reynor and be like, hey, can you close Steam? Can you can I make sure you're not downloading any torrents, Papi?
Hey,
Like,
Reynor, maybe you should not be listening to music, huh? I mean, it just happens.
Can you lower the quality of your playlist to like 360p or something? Can you? Oh.
This is where someone makes a joke about how his plays are low quality or something.
As we are getting back into this, and yeah, there's that Roach Horn on the way, of course, for Reynor. Again, he's going to be going for a very Roach heavy style. And this is really dangerous. Cure needs to figure out what's going on. Thankfully, he went for a 3cc into Banshee opener. With Banshees, he will have the perfect unit to defend against Roach aggression. He should soon be moving out across the map as well, as the Hellions are dancing in between the bases and hopefully coming across those Roaches.
Yeah, well, for now the Hellions will be going around and just checking on the bases of Reynor. The Banshee is on the way. It will have Cloak as well, so that will be definitely some nice harassment for Cure. But just as with the games versus Hero, Reynor is not skipping his spores in the bases.
Yeah, he's not skipping his spores. Meanwhile, we do see a scan, and that does confirm the Roaches as well. So Cure is fully aware of what's going on, and as a result, he's going to be that much more careful against this army. Reynor, he's going for Overlord speed, by the way, and he's going for some Drop Lords. He's going all in.
The poor Artosilov panicking a little bit in the middle of the Roaches and Hellions. I think it's the Artosilab. Where's the date?
It's Artos.
No, it is there. Okay. I remember well.
And here we go. The queens are being lifted up. We're just going to be dropping across the map. Now, Reynor is still joining behind this. Bear that in mind. So this actually isn't all in. It's very committed, don't get me wrong, because we're investing into this. But the Banshees, they come across the Jobber Lords. Oh, did they?
I'm not sure. I think they saw them, but I'm not sure. But at least he sees that Reynor is moving out, so he has all the time to roast all of these drones, and 10 of them already falling down, and there will be more.
Yeah, he saw the Jobber Lords. He knows there's no anti-air. He's just going to kill the Roach Warren. The Roach Warren, it can go down. The Hellions dive into the mineral line as well. At the same time, Queens are dropping across the map, but the Queens are on their own. It's just pure Queen.
The SPs are trying to help there, and the Marines are able to deny the Overlord at the same time. The more drones are falling down.
GG, well played. Kuro will take game number 1, completely shutting down the push of Reynor. Not just shutting it down, but also going for a counterattack as well, recognizing that Reynor wouldn't have a lot at home to defend.
Yeah, that was very decisive from Kuro. Very well executed there, and he was able to hold the drop from Reynor with barely any effort really, and just went straight for the throat.
Yeah, there you go. Went straight for it. GG, well played. A very solid game there out of Kuro. When it comes to Reynor, obviously he decided to 12 pool before any kind of latency issues. But I hope that the Roach push wasn't influenced by that. That would be a shame if it was. It looks like Reynor is going to be restarting his client though, just to fix any issues. Maybe.
Yeah, the good old solution of have you tried turning it off and on again?
Hey, sometimes it works.
It does.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works. Like
Yeah.
there's a reason why it's a meme.
Cool.
But it does work sometimes, so Reynor will be trying that first, and hopefully we will be able to get that game with minimal latency and play a little bit better thanks to that.
Yeah, hopefully it does work out in the end. But already we have the first game in the books. Already the series is well underway. Again, a very aggressive game out of Reynor on Ancient Cistern, and now I'm worried actually. So Ancient is one of the larger maps in the map pool, and typically that's the map that the Zerg player wants to make use of at its fullest, and go for like longer games, go for macro games, try to overwhelm the Terran player on maps like Ancient, on maps like Altitude, on maps like Gressvan as well. For Ancient to go the way of Cure, that's a little bit dangerous. That means that smaller maps are left. That means that maybe a more aggressive style from Cure is going to be a little more dangerous and harder to deal with.
I mean, you say that, but Reynor himself can be pretty aggressive as well. Like as you mentioned, he did start this game with a 12 pool, so maybe that's just the sign for what is coming this series in general.
It's very possible. It is very possible that that is going to be how this series plays out and how Reynor approaches these matches. We'll see. As it looks like we are getting ready here for game number 2. Looking at the vetoes, it looks like game 2 is going to be taking place on a much smaller map on Dragon Scales.
Okay. We'll see. I still think that Reynor will have the initiative, that he will be the aggressive player at the beginning, and we'll see what happens with that. I do wonder if Cure is going to continue with like Banshees and stuff, and getting the CC early, and just getting some macro builds as he does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very safe way to play, and especially like if you're expecting your opponent to be aggressive, like I expect Cure to just head in that direction as well. But we'll see. As again, the lobby has been made, Reynor did end up coming back in, and hopefully any kind of latency issues have been resolved. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed, as our players are ready, and we will be loading into Dragon Scales.
Here.
Don't forget to stretch. Check your posture. Hydrate.
Don't forget the most important one. Don't forget to massage your Marines. Oh,
God.
yes.
I have questions, but I feel like none of them are.
Just think of Godbert. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That made it worse. That made it worse. Thank you.
As we are leading into game number 2. There we go. Old mate Harston just making sure that the mana is there for everyone. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have the player currently leading this series 1-0. We have the South Korean Terran representing representing Team Abydos. It is Kuro. Oh my god.
And in the bottom right corner of Dragon's Case, we have a 15 supply, 15 hatch coming up from our blue player, representing Basilisk and Italy. It is Reynor.
Very interesting. So he's going for the Eric 15-15 opener. It is of course a 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool. Very interesting for Reynor to whip this out. Very odd, as you can make a lot of arguments to do this against Protoss, less so against Terran.
I mean, fair enough, but I guess it... I was gonna say it has its advantage in every matchup. I mean, to a certain extent it does, but as you said, like, it was mostly designed to avoid the Protoss blocking, so not so much the Terran. But
Yeah.
I mean, it can still work out in his favor.
So I'm curious if he's trying to like hard counter a Beyond 2 Rax opener, and maybe that's what he's assuming, or even a proxy Rax. So with this, obviously it's a hatch pool opener. The spawning pool is actually a lot faster than normal. With this, you have faster queens, you have faster lings, you have faster creep spread as well because of your faster queens. So it's a very defensive opener. Kuro is not proxying, he's not 2-raxing, so he's playing standard. So yeah, I do think that maybe Reynor was preemptively trying to prepare for that kind of scenario. That's what I'm kind of gathering from this.
Yeah, maybe, but as you said, Kuro is not one to commonly go for like this super aggressive style, so I guess Kuro will win that mind game, but it's not like it puts Reynor like that much behind, so...
Yeah, it is a less, again, it's a less economic opener, a little bit more defensive or safer instead. First Reaper arrives and is going to be able to dance with these drones, but again, the Queen is a couple of seconds away from finishing up. It looks like the Spore is going to be made in time the Queen arrives, and the Reaper is forced back.
Yeah, so the Reaper is not able to get any damage done, but it does get a little bit of a scout on that natural, and we'll see the third going down as well, so there's a bit of an information about how economical Reynor is being, and here is safe to put 2 of his CCs down.
Yeah, once again, it is a 3cc before starport opener. This is exactly the same build, or sorry, opener that he went for in game number 1. So very economic, very macro-oriented out of Kuro. Behind this, we should be seeing a starport, and then we can see an add-on swap. We can go into that Banshee production. That is at least where Kuro is headed. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. How? Okay.
Oof.
I'm thinking this will not end the same way. Oh my god, one HP.
1 HP. What's up? What are you thinking?
No, I was thinking like this will not end the same way as previous game did, right? Like it's not gonna be like, oh, Reynor has moved out and then the Banshees just destroy everything, right?
I mean, this should hit faster. We're on Dragon Scales, which has a shorter rush distance, and we are making the roaches a lot faster as well. Because of the opener, because of the delayed gas, once again, it is typically wise to go for a roach horn and not go for blink speed, so roaches are in production. Banshee is on the way, but this is going to be hitting quite hard and quite fast. Kuro needs to scout this. He needs to recognize what's going on. He hasn't seen the roach horn yet.
Yeah, but he will see it now as these Helios are just diving straight into the natural. He will try to get any kills that he can, but it looks like only 1, maybe 2 drones at best can go down.
2 drones go down, some lost mining time. We force a Spore as well. The Reaper does fall as its corpse does fly up the cliff into the main base.
That was wow. That was impressive. It just like sprang him in the air.
And Kuro, so confident, just takes his third in the face of these early roaches, and it makes sense because Reynor, after being scattered, he's droning. He's just droning, and he's just using his roaches defensively back at home.
Yeah, so it does sound like Reynor has decided to be very defensive this game, and I mean we'll see if that pays off, because it looks like Kuro will be doing some of his harassment. As you said, he's getting those Banshees ready. Once again, they will have Cloak. So he will be trying to get into the bases of Reynor, but he may not be able to do so.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying, Reynor doesn't want to just die again, like game number 1, so he's taking a more defensive position here with his units. We do have the 4th base on the way. It is going to be scattered by Kuro as he dips on in, looking for an opening. Does confirm the location of the queens, and those banshees are headed right for that 4th base. We'll see if Reynor can hold on to it. We'll see if his queens can actually get there in time.
Yeah, I mean, he has all these roaches, but the roaches do not shoot up, so the queens have to be the one defending the bases, and it looks like Kuro actually decides against the attacking and he's moving back home.
Yeah, he's going to rotate around the long way around instead. So a very bold move here. Thinks that maybe Reynor would be able to protect that base in the end. And yeah, the Banshees are still looking for some damage. Meanwhile, back at home, Reynor, he's actually rushing into an infestation pit as we speak. This is very dark-esque. Reynor, he's going to be playing very roach heavy. We can see 1-1 on the way, and the infestation pit is going to be 4 infestors for fungals.
No, I hope he gets some good fungals like Dark does. Because I have seen Dark getting some good fungals, and it's just, it's beautiful.
Yeah, Dark, he can make roach work like no other, and we'll see if Reynor can do the same. As the initial Banshees are going to be dipping between the bases, they managed to pick off a couple of drones. One drone does go down, but not too much else as the Banshees do head into the main base where queens are waiting.
Yeah, once again, queens are waiting, spores are waiting, so it doesn't look like these banshees will be able to do any damage. Even an overseer is there to accompany the queens, so yeah, the banshees are completely stopped.
Yeah, the Banshees are stopped. They've only killed 2 workers. Meanwhile, the infestors are on the way. For those wondering, it's really important. It's imperative to get these infestors out soon, just because the roach army is really lacking. A bioforce can more often than not just roll over roaches. You need some splash damage, and typically that splash damage comes in the form of banelings. But when you go this heavy into roaches, you don't have any banelings, you don't have any melee upgrades. That's where the infestors come into play.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to land some really good fungals though, and we'll see if Reynor can do that. This small army of marines is looking for some damage, but there are forces of Reynor here as well, so they mostly will be clearing creep, it looks like.
Yeah, they just get a couple of tumors. Meanwhile, we only make 2 to 3 infestors, and now we can transition. Now we are safe enough to keep on going. We have a hydrogen on the way. We have a hive on the way. It looks like Reynor is headed towards lurkers.
Also, I just... Chat, try saying clearing creep 10 times fast. You're welcome.
It's clearing creep.
I am now upset.
Up! Up!
Ooh, nice fungal, the entire marine force, and it looks like all of it will be going down, and even the medivacs get some fungal as well on them, but it doesn't do too much damage there. At the same time though, there is a second force coming in, but this is just a creep cleaning force. I hate these 2 words together.
Shaking my head. But yeah, really solid pick off there by Reynor. He shuts down so many of those marines. He did lose an infestor. He did lose an infestor in that, but that's why we have 2 more on the way to replace the infestors that he did just lose. Make sure that he has plenty of energy, plenty of fungals to work with here as Kuro is slowly expanding behind this, taking his 4th base on location, still focusing on clearing up creep. He's giving Reynor a lot of time though. Like, Kuro hasn't really gone for any kind of big push. That is allowing Reynor to take up. The lurker den is now on the way. He is successfully close to transitioning here into lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, he does not have a lot of hydras yet, I don't think. He has none. They're still in production. So we're only gonna have a few hydras, so there will not be a lot of lurkers at first at least. But with considering that Kuro is only attacking with small forces at once, it doesn't look like he will need that many.
Yeah, exactly, as it looks like 2 queens will barely go down here to this drop, to this hit squad. Not bad from Kuro, but it looks like the rest of these marines are going to get cleaned up. The hydras had been revealed. That is a bit of a tell. Kuro, he hasn't seen the lurker den yet, but seeing these hydras is a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, definitely. And how is he gonna prepare for that though? Does he have any ghosts coming? He does have a ghost academy, so he can make some.
Yeah, Ghost Academy is done. Ghost can soon be on the way. For the time being, Kuro is more concerned with just establishing himself on this side of the map. He's just more concerned with trying to get everything up and running. The tanks are looking to be in position. Pretty damn good positioning here at the triangular 3rd. The 4th base is looking a little bit more exposed as Reynor's even trying to take one of Kuro's bases.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Kuro has spotted it quite yet, so he will leave it alone for the time being, but he is actually checking that by accident. He will find it and deny it.
There we go. That base is going to be denied. Meanwhile, Kuro diving in with his Banshees. It looks like another base is going to be attempted to be taken, but this drone is going to run into the Banshees.
Ooh. Excellent try. That was sad.
Oh,
The Banshee! How much HP? How many? How many points?
2. Ta-da!
Well, 0 now.
The Banshee goes down. But yeah, you know, Reynor just trying to be a little bit cheeky here with his expansions. He's on 5 bases. He's looking to take a stick. He may be forced to take the center base instead. That one Banshee going ham in the middle of the map is also going to be cleaned up as we are entering that split map scenario.
The single Hydra in this army has taken down the Banshee. Beautiful. This Infestor army is going for this drop, but they only catch the empty medivac, so they won't be able to clean it up. But it does clean the base for Reynor, and he will take it the other corner as well.
Yeah, he's double expanding as we speak. Again, it's very important here because he recognizes that this is going to go to the late game. Right now, Kuro's turtling until he's maxed. So Reynor needs to expand as much as possible. He needs to mine out from these fringe bases as quickly as possible as well to take money away from Kuro.
Yeah, and he also has creep spread on the other middle base, so Kuro cannot expand anywhere but the west one. So really, Reynor is taking almost the entire map.
Yeah, exactly. The goal here, because the Terran army is more efficient, it straight up is going to trade more efficiently, so Reynor needs to make sure he has more money than Kuro. And it's going to be, again, very important that he saturates these bases first. And it's advised that you, like, pull these drones away, you saturate the fringe bases instead, and yep, there we go. That's exactly what's happening. Reynor, he knows which minerals are the most important.
Yeah, because it's so easy to lose those bases, so you want to get as much resources as you can first, and yeah, then when the time comes, you can just move back to the safer location. And it looks like, for the time being, Reynor will not be contested on these bases, as Kuro just kinda turtles up.
Yeah, he's about to max out though. So once Kuro maxes out, he can then be active on the map. You can see roaches are moving out as well. Reynor, he wants to get rid of these roaches. He wants to replace them with more Lingbane and Hydra Viper or Lurkers as well. These roaches, they've served their purpose and they're not useful anymore.
How can you say that? Roaches have feelings too.
Too bad. As Reynor pushes on 40, throws down those blinding clouds as well. He's able to abduct these tanks. The tanks were left exposed.
Yeah, and the Banix are rolling in. The planetary goes down, and the army of the Zerg is cleared out, but so is the base of the Terra.
And again, Reynor has a bank. He has a 6k, 2k bank right now. He can rebuild. He can remax. Kuro, not so much. Kuro is still trying to establish himself here, so he's still stuck at home. We have nukes on the way. We have 3-3 as well. Once all these upgrades kick in, Kuro can then be active with his main army. Until then, though, he's going to try and move out with some drops, though, but there are spines waiting for him.
Yeah, there are spines at the top. There are roaches as well. The bottom is not so protected, so it will take a while before the army of Reynor is here, but the Zerglings are rolling in. The Spore is dealing with the Medivacs as well, as they are going quite low, and the Hydras will be able to finish them off.
Yeah, one of those Medivacs does go down. Meanwhile, Kuro did scout top right. He's fully aware that every other base has been taken by the Zerg player, and he's going to have to very carefully try to deal with all of them as well, as he's in the midst of taking the center base as we speak.
Oh my god, all these snipes. Yeah, all of those roaches are going down to the ghost, and it looks like Kuro has successfully cleaned that base in the middle, but as you said, Reynor has every other base on the map, so this is really the last resources that Kuro can take right now.
Yeah, exactly, as we do have a nuke here at...
Overlord.
There's not a lot of mining here, but I was just saying there's a lot of overlords, and it looks like Reynor hasn't noticed. He doesn't see. He doesn't know. Uh-oh.
He's not looking, Papi.
He's not looking, Papi. It's hard to see under all these overlords, and oh my god.
Look at the supply! 128!
Oh my god, look at the supply. 8-9 overlords go down just like that. Not a lot of drones, but hey, 8 drones as well. A value nuke. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was not a nuke on the army, but that was pretty valuable. Of course, Reynor quite quickly remakes that supply, but still, that was quite a lot of damage done. But at the same time, he's running straight into that base again. He's gonna be taking down the planetary entire mineral line as well.
Yeah, meanwhile, the main army or another army of Kuro is going to be pushing out across the map. He's going to be able to take down the top right-hand base. Meanwhile, Reynor is not stopping. He keeps on pushing forward. The ghosts are nearby, so Reynor has to be careful here, but regardless, he's getting into that triangular third base.
Yeah, and he's rolling with his banings there. The Hydras are there to help with the Liberators as well. The tanks are not quite in position for this base specifically, but it looks like Kuro is just able to push this back.
Yeah, he does push this back, so he takes down a base, but he loses a base as well. Both players are hurting, but Kuro, he doesn't really have the most amazing economy to begin with here. He doesn't have a lot of workers, doesn't have the best resources, doesn't have the largest bank. He's going to try to rebuild, but he's going to be losing more tanks.
Yeah, the Zerglings run straight into the tanks and they take down most of them in this base, and Reynor does not stop the aggression. He's poking at the bases of Kuro. The one on the west was not retaken. The CC is still in production, I believe, so Kuro will have to muster all the forces together to be able to expand.
Yeah, exactly. Likewise, Reynor also lost a pretty important base of his own as well. So both players are hurting, but Reynor has a lot of spellcasters. He has a massive bank. His bank isn't as large as it once was, but he has a massive gas bank, so we can, of course, rebuild those high-tech units.
Yeah, and he is taking the base in the middle as well, so he will be able to mine some minerals from there. Kuro once again taking the base on the west, but it is pretty barren right now, and at the same time Reynor is attacking in the middle.
And it's pushing through the center of the map. Ooh, a lot of these banelings are going to be going down, but they do connect with the planetary, and they do just barely bring it down.
Yeah, to the planetary together with the leftover mules, and Kuro is forced to land another orbital there, but he did suffer some losses.
The problem as well is that this is an orbital, not a planetary this time, so it's going to be that much weaker, that much more vulnerable to an attack. Do have a bit of a lurker run by here on the left-hand side. It is going to get cleaned up. Another planetary is on the way.
The Taster was terrified of the lurker, just hiding in the gas geyser, just trying to hug it.
Trying to run away, run away. Meanwhile, I love that Reynor, he's actually working towards Neural. Neural is on the way, so he's going to have an even more efficient army. He's going to be able to take control of the army of Kuro. Some of those high-tech units, like tanks, like Thors, like Ghosts as well. Oh boy, he's going to have a lot available to him.
Yeah, and he's scanning the entire map, checking what Reynor is up to, and he does. I don't know if he saw that Reynor did retake that base at the top, and he is preparing another attack on the west.
Yeah, this is just outside of Sensor Tower range as well. Kuro has no idea until now. Here we go. Reynor does reveal himself, and the Bio Army once again is not in position. These tanks are going to be going down. The planetary is exposed once again.
Yeah, the planetary looks like it will be going down. There are only mules here as well, and they are not repairing it whatsoever. The Zerg army was cleaned though.
Yeah, but that was still worth it for Reynor. Again, Kuro just didn't have enough of a heads up. Earlier when he was scanning, he was looking for the army and he missed it. He didn't see where the army was. He didn't know where Reynor was going to attack from next. And was able to take down another base. Meanwhile, Kuro goes for a counterattack.
Yeah, and Reynor is still remaking the army that he lost. He does have a lot of Link Bane, but I'm not sure it is enough to face Kuro right now. But Kuro decides to be a bit more safe and secure and goes back to that base.
He does back off in the end. He does respect the positioning here of Reynor. Reynor trying to go for a bit of a wraparound. Instead, he's trying to go and surround this army.
Yeah, even the lurkers are helping on the back. The Thors are standing, but they will be going down together with the rest of the army. The ghosts are being fungal.
Yeah, the fungal does connect with the ghost. Every single ghost is going to be going down, and that is the army of Kuro cleaned up. He's got a couple of tanks remaining, but that was a devastating loss for the Terran.
Yeah, a lot of the ghosts went down in that animation. Actually, can we check how many? 8 ghosts. And one of them died to friendly fire.
One ghost survived. This is the only ghost that is currently on the map. The only ghost that did survive that onslaught. And again, Kuro just wasn't ready for that. A lot of his supply is tied up here on the right-hand side instead, defending some of these other fringe bases. Bases that, I mean, he hasn't had to defend until now. Now Reynor is heading for a counterattack, finds another free tank.
Yeah, Reynor is still trying to establish that base in the top right corner, and it has been denied a few times now, but every time Kuro tries to deny it, he also loses a base of his own, so it's not an ideal trade-off.
Yeah, exactly, as lurkers have arrived as well, and Kuro is just being starved out at this point. He has run out of gas. He has minerals, but no gas well, no really effective gas mining whatsoever right now for Kuro, as he's going to be losing another one of these bases. Meanwhile, the center base is under threat as well. Reynor, he's timing on in. The tanks liberators once again go down.
Yeah, and Kuro is spread thin a little bit. He was not quite in position to defend this base, and the lurkers are still at the west as well, and the hydras are cleaning up this base.
Yeah, they do focus down the orbital. It is going to be replaced by another orbital, but again, these orbitals are very fragile. They're not the most robust buildings here for the Terran compared to a planetary, for example. We have Niduses on the way. It looks like this has been spotted, so Nidus will not get up and running. Kuro should be able to shut it down.
I looked at the chat. They all died. Does that mean the ghosts are ghosts now?
As we do have Reynor pushing through once again into this center base. Oh, the infestors do get focused down by the tanks. So really good target firing coming out from Kuro, but he still loses more of his army. Supplies are nearing, they are actually kind of closing though here. Kuro still has a super maxed army. If he does end up, if Reynor triggers a counterattack, then Kuro can maybe make something happen.
Well, for now, Kuro is being distracted by all these Nidus swarms popping out here and there, and he's trying his best to deny all of them. These Zerglings are actually able to barely reach the tanks, and they will be able to take 2 of them.
Yeah, they take down 2 tanks thanks to the friendly fire. Once again, Kuro's Hellbats were not in position to help protect these tanks. This one lurker doing a lot here. Meanwhile, at the same time, we have another Nidus going into the main base. This is going to get spotted. This is going to be shut down. At the same time, lurkers on the right-hand side. Reynor just looking to pull Kuro apart.
Yeah, and so far he's doing not a bad job at that, as Kuro has to split his army constantly. He has to find like all these areas where he can defend, and even this front base is being denied by changing. So.
It is. Meanwhile, once again, these tanks are left exposed. Once again, half of them do go down. 11 SCVs as well. Kuro isn't too late to respond, so he's able to save the majority of those tanks, but oh god, he just has been having some really rough trades here, just having a really hard time keeping up with the movement of Reynor.
Yeah, and Reynor was finally able to establish that base at the top right. There are lurkers there to back up. There is a Nidus as well for quick transport, so he will be able to keep that position at least for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And for those wondering, basically Kuro, he's stuck at home until he maxes. We've kind of been in this situation before. Basically, Kuro, he needs to max out first. He's waiting for a good fight, and then as soon as that happens, he will counterattack. He will just send everything and try to kill Reynor before he can remax. It's going to be difficult to really pull this off, but finally, for the first time, he leaves Hellbats here in position. Tanks are not going down. Kuro, he's attempting to stabilize.
Yeah, attempting is a good word though, because as you have pointed out, Kuro is starting to starve. Like, he doesn't have a lot of mining on his other bases, and even now the lurkers are denying him the rest of it that he has. So these 2 mining bases are actually incredibly important, and he has to like mill them as much as he can.
Exactly, as these lurkers are looking very exposed, so Kuro, he's finally going to be able to do some counter damage. Good snipes here. A lot of lurkers. Every lurker goes down.
Yeah, but at the same time, the army of Reynor is rolling into the middle base once again, and it will take down all of those fresh mules and a lot of the army with it as well. Fortunately, the orbital stays alive, but still, this is a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is going to go well for, in a way, well for Kuro. He's able to clean up the majority of the Zerg army. He does lose that base, though. He loses a lot of SCVs and a lot of tanks. So even though I do think that was actually a more efficient fight for Kuro, he doesn't really have the bank to rebuild, so he can't quite do much of anything right now.
Yeah, like in these scenarios, like every bit of damage is actually a lot of damage, because you cannot remake this army, you cannot remake these workers. Like slowly but surely, like Kuro is starting to struggle with the resources, and Reynor still has the entire map.
Yeah, like looking at the battle report here, like Kuro traded so efficiently there, but it doesn't matter how efficiently he traded if he just doesn't have an economy, if he doesn't have any minerals or gas to work with. And we can see Reynor just continuing to tax the army here. He's going to be laying siege upon this center base. At the same time, a massive counterattack here on the left-hand side. He's going to crash and collapse on top of these tanks.
Yeah, the Hellbats were not able to help this time, as the Blinkbane army is just overwhelming, just rolling straight through the base. once again, the orbital will be saved, but the entire base apart from it is destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. The mineral line, the tanks, the Hellbats all did go down, and Kuro, he's able to get a couple of snipes off towards the end here, but alas, he still cannot max out. He's still stuck at 150 supply. We have +3 armor on the way. We have more tanks in production. Boy.
Yeah, and funnily enough, even with those snipes from Kuro, like even with these losses in every attack, like Reynor is still about maxed, and like he continues to be maxed.
Yeah, exactly. Reynor, he still hasn't budged in his supply. Meanwhile, that was a really cute move from Kuro. As soon as the Lings got on top of the tanks, he unsieged everything to make sure there was no friendly fire this time. So like Kuro, he's been tryharding these past couple of minutes. Like he's like towards the end of the game, he's actually like been really careful with his units. But it may just be too little, too late at this point. As
yeah, like we definitely appreciate it. Like we acknowledge it, but like it may just not matter anymore, because look at this army of the Zerg just rolling through the bases.
Yeah, exactly. The tanks go down once again. The blinding clouds are insane. Kuro's out of position, attempting to go for a bit of a counterattack. He exposes the center base, and now everything is on fire. Reynor denying any kind of mining left here for Kuro.
Yeah, there is absolutely no mining going on. Actually, I don't think he has any mining at all, because the last mining base is the one at the top, and that one is also getting harassed every now and then.
It really is. We can see Kuro trying to establish another base. We can see Kuro forced to fight as well. He's going to be able to pick off some of these Vipers. No, the Vipers do survive. Things getting really chaotic here as Reynor is trying to remax. Same can be said here for Kuro, but Reynor just has so much more money here to work with. He's running out of patches, to be fair, but he's going to be able to rebuild.
Yeah, you say that, but like he literally just used his entire mineral bank, and he does not have that many patches left, so actually he could use a few more bases as well. So I guess we're getting to the point where both players are actually missing a lot of resources.
Yeah, I mean, this top left-hand base, again, still had resources left. We do have a bit of a Hellbat run by, but that's going to get cleaned up. Doesn't really find too much damage whatsoever, as Reynor, with what little patches he has left, he will still be able to remax. Kuro, not so much. Kuro needs top left desperately. I'm sorry, top right. Here we go. The base is going to be taken. Meanwhile, changelings do confirm this orbital. Lings are going to be able to deny any kind of mining here. We managed to get a couple of minerals here and there, but the mules are all going to go down. Kuro losing another one of these bases, and we can see Reynor, he's desperate for money. He's going to be expanding and taking another base here of Kuro.
Yeah, and as I said, like even though he has like all of these bases on the map, like those bases are also starting to run out at this point. Like there are just not many minerals left on the map, period, and like every mineral patch is important right now.
It really is. Meanwhile, solid EMPs on the Vipers. Not a single blinding cloud goes down. Also, likewise on these infestors as well. Kuro taking a very efficient fight.
Yeah,
he kills everything.
Cleaning up the entire Zerg army and actually the game.
Yeah. GG. The EMPs were actually insane. And Reynor, he runs out of steam despite having so much momentum. Kuro takes game number 2 and takes the lead in the series. Or maintains his lead.
Yeah, actually, because if you remember, he did take game 1.
GG, well played. Kuro was waiting for that moment, and we were talking about it, right? Towards the end, like, he was trading more efficiently. He was hyper fixated on his army control, and that final fight was just so that final fight went so damn well for Kuro. He fought as best as he could, and Reynor just threw everything away.
Yeah, like, you know, it was like, sure, Reynor had like more mining, like Reynor had like more bases, but once he used up the entire bank that he had, like he was basically in the same situation as Kuro. And with Kuro, as you said, tryharding, with Kuro trading so much more efficiently, like in the end, like it did come to bite Reynor.
Yeah, and I know that this isn't the most exciting playstyle to watch from the Terran, but Kuro was doing everything like correctly. Like he was like just cutting the map in half, slowly expanding, just trading as efficiently as possible, And that's kind of what you have to do when the Zerg player has map control like that. You're just hoping that the Zerg player just trades too efficiently over time to the point where they run out of money as well. So yeah, Kuro, he was able to pull that off just barely. It was still very close, obviously, but it was very close. But Kuro was able to break Reynor in the end.
I mean, as you said, it basically came down to like the unit control in the battles, like
Yep.
the little things that made the trades more efficient for Cure.
Yeah, exactly. And he was able to overcome the might that was Reynor and even take one of those more important mining bases towards the top right, as well as now we're getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of the series.
You left me.
Oh, did you not join?
I
Opa.
didn't see
God damn
it. It did not notify me.
You can
that there's a
join through the
lobby.
friends list.
I tried, but it didn't show me that you are in lobby. Usually it does.
Okay. Well, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Abydos. It is Kuro. In the top left.
I assume in the top left. If it's not Cure, then it must be. I can't see anything. It must be the Zerg player representing Basilisk. It is Reynor.
Right, here we go. Well, has been a bit of a rough series here for Reynor so far. Does feel like it is going to be quite an uphill battle moving forward. I mean, to be fair, we can't really say much about game 1. Game 1, Reynor just he went for an all-in and just died. In game number 2, he went for a more macro-oriented playstyle instead, but as we saw, Kuro was just so damn efficient, so meticulous with his army control, especially in the later portion of that game. And yeah, what's his approach going to be here in game 3?
Yeah, I do wonder what we will gonna see for both players actually, because I think, to be fair, I think Cure is pretty fine with playing his standard style, but Reynor has been trying to be aggressive. Like he tried the 12 pool in game 1. In second game he was like maybe not aggressive in play, but aggressive in expanding around the map, taking as much as he can. But in the end, it didn't quite work out for him. So we'll see what he goes for in this game.
Yeah, we'll see if he tries to avoid that, because Gresvan is another one of those maps which is very similar, where Gresvan, you can cut it in half very easily, and you can end up in a very similar scenario where the Terran player is stuck defending back at home. It happened earlier today when we were casting Cure versus Solar, Solar versus Oliveira, where Solar had map control and Oliveira had his half of the map, and we just went to late game. So yeah, we'll see if Reynor can overcome that. We'll see if he's going to have a better time on a larger map like Gresvan. That's the other important thing to take note of, is that there are more attack paths, more bases to be taken.
Yeah, we'll see. As for now, we have this Reaper actually taking down a drone and damaging the other end. This is a nice little bit of starting damage for Cure. There was no Queen to protect the drones, but it has popped out now.
Yeah, this is dangerous. One drone kill is already really good for Cure, and he wants some more as he gets eyes on the third base back at home. It's going to be a 3cc opener here from Cure. Same opener he's been going for every game so far in this series.
Yeah, it does seem to be the favorite of Cure, at least in this matchup, so he does go for it every time so far, and it has worked out for him pretty well. He even gets the Overlord.
Yeah, Overlord across the map goes down as well. So Reynor losing an Overlord, Reynor losing a drone as well. Oh no, he even loses the tumor. I think he's tilted.
Yeah, at this point he would be. He was also supply blocked after the Overlord.
Yeah, he's gonna lose. No, don't. Another tumor goes down. The Reaper survives. Reynor can be a really emotional player. I think that's kind of showing right now.
Yeah, I think his vibe is ruined.
I think so as well. This is not a good start. Obviously, this isn't game-ending damage, but this is damage that should never happen at this level of play. This is something that shouldn't really be happening right now. So, hopefully, Reynor is able to shake this off, and hopefully, he's able to mentally recover.
Yeah, but if he can, I mean, it would be the first time he comes back from a difficult situation, but definitely not a great start. Like as you said, it's not even that it's like that much damage like in the game itself, but like just it's just damage mentally.
Yeah, he's going for, that was a 4-minute 15 lair. This is a very fast lair from Reynor. I wonder what the plan is here. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the production tab. We'll see if he makes more queens. He is taking additional gases as we speak. Baneling nest as well. Okay, so it may have just been a faster lair just for safety, just for faster baneling speed. Not necessarily for any kind of fast tech.
Yeah, I guess we'll see, as we do have the banshees coming from Kuro once again, and they will have cloak, so having a lair will definitely be useful for the detection. And yeah, we'll see how Reynor deals with that this time, because so far in all games, like his defense against banshees was pretty solid, and as well as the oracles before. So we'll see if that continues in this game as well.
Yeah, we'll see if that does continue. We do have, finally the Reaper does go down to the Queen, so Reynor, I'm sure, can feel good about that. Back at home, we're just droning. Lair is now done. And we see, okay, so it was an early lair on purpose. I was curious if it was an early lair just because he was a little bit tilted, but no, it is for purpose. He is taking gases. He's going straight into a Spire.
Okay, so Mutas?
Yeah, so we are rushing into Mutas right now. This is a very greedy way to play for Reynor. Very risky move, but high risk, high reward. We'll see if he can get away with it. We'll see if he can get away with this very fast Spire.
I mean, in the previous game, he was successfully pulling Kuro apart for quite a decent chunk of the game, so maybe using Mutas to that advantage can really work for him.
Yeah, exactly, as the Banshees are looking to hunt down that Queen. The Queen barely does survive. Oh my god, one shot away, 1 HP remaining on that Queen, as Reynor is going to be able to zone away these Banshees, and the Banshees will not get close to the natural, will not get close to the Spire.
They will not get that information. I mean, Kuro can still scan and still get to know what is coming, but for the time being, he is in a bit of a dark, and the Banshees are diving once again, this time into the third base, but they should be stopped there as well.
Yeah, and their gases are spotted, but it's very common for Zerg players to actually get their second and third gas at their third base, just to make it more difficult to scout, so Kuro hasn't seen enough, and 6 Mutas are on the way, completely unscouted. Oh, but turrets are being thrown down. Has Kuro been able to sniff this out? I wonder if maybe seeing those gases did tip him off.
I mean, maybe. Or maybe he just... Nah, yeah, I would assume that maybe the gases actually did tip him off. Like, as you said, like, Zergs will, like, disguise the other build as this, but, like, why not just, you know, get the turrets regardless, just to be safe?
Yeah, as here we go, we do scan ahead of time. We're going to be pushing through the center of the map. The tank is going to be getting in position. Armory still on the way. Mutas are looking to try and surround, though. The Mutas are not harassing. They're going to be staying at home. Going to try and collapse on this army.
Yeah, that they will, but they're not quite finding the angle quite yet. They are going around, and the Marines are protecting for the time being, so Reynor instead decides to go straight for the bases of Kuro.
Yeah, he's going for a counterattack, but the turret is already in position. The Mutas are going to be forced back as well. Thankfully, no Mutas die, but they don't find too much damage. They at least keep Kuro back at home, but no, he doesn't care. He's going to reinforce.
Yeah, that he will in this position will get even stronger. The Mutas are trying to sabotage this attack, but can they do it?
A hard pick up there from Kuro. Saves the tank. He falls back to a siege position as well, and the reinforcements are not caught out, but they aren't able to support this army. The armory is done. Hellbats are morphed in to protect that tank.
Yeah, and now it will be that much harder to get this to this position as Reynor is trying to surround this army. He himself finds himself surrounded as well, as the reinforcements are now here.
Hard pick up there from Kuro. The Banelings, they mainly go off on that tank, but there are more Banelings where that came from. Kuro still has to be careful here. He has to be careful. He has to respect this army as Reynor's engaging.
Yeah, he's going off creep all the way and trying to chase for this bio army, but he does not get much of it. At the same time, the Banshees are dealing with some damage to this drone line as well.
Yeah, the mineral line is going to be forced back. Thankfully, we have another hatchery that's being taken. The tanks are going to be getting within range of this base. We're even going to be dropping up onto the high ground.
Yeah, the Banelings are trying to go around to find some connections, but I don't think they can quite do it if the pickups are right, but maybe they will actually just go for harassment.
Yeah, we're going to be setting up for a surround. The reinforcements are being called out, though, and Kuro is able to react in time, but there's just so much Ling Bane waiting for him. With this, he can go into the mineral line as well.
Yeah, the Banelings go straight around the wall. The SCVs are trying to escape, but they are met with the other part of Banelings.
Oh, my very last second split. 18 SCVs still go down, though, so the damage is done. Kuro was able to make the best out of that situation, though. Look how many of these were one shot away from going down.
Yeah, like, he split the best he could at that point, and he still has that siege position and even cleared the base.
Yeah, the base did go down, but Ling Bane is catching these reinforcements. Kuro once again caught out with his Marines. The Mutas as well are looking to reinforce as well. Reynor, it wants to counterattack once again.
Yeah, he's trying to find a position, trying to find an opening in the bases of Kuro, but at the same time, Kuro does not let go of his aggression as well. He does have that siege position with the tanks, but the Marines are poking the bases of Reynor.
Yeah, exactly. Banelings are being picked off left and right. Reynor is still set up for that surround as well. The reinforcements are kept at home, and Reynor can collapse on this army.
And he will try to do so as the Ling Bane is rolling straight into the Terran army, and it will clean it entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Kuro, he gets completely cleaned up. We have a couple of Marines left over here for Kuro. He's going to be able to trade as best he can, but he shouldn't be able to get out of here yet. He will lose everything. Behind this, Kuro has a fourth base, so he still has a standing army as well. Kuro is still in this.
Yeah, I mean, he was holding this position in Reynor's side of the map for quite a while as well, but at the same time, Reynor was able to expand to these back bases, so it's not like he was not doing any progress on his own either. So, I guess we are decently even.
Yeah, we are. I mean, you say that, but Kuro has a better economy right now. He has 82 workers, which is insane. Reynor hasn't been able to really saturate his bases. He's been focusing so much on making Ling Bane Muta, sorry. He's only just now getting up towards the 75, towards the 80 worker count. So Reynor has some catching up to do economically. He hasn't been able to be as greedy as he would have liked to have been, and these mutas still haven't really paid for themselves either. He's looking for some harassing damage.
The mutas are coming in, and they will be flying straight into the main base. Actually, there is a turret there, but not much other than it. And some of the reinforcing mutas will even pass by the army, but that means that army is now on the Reynor side of the map.
Yeah, I love the last second spread of those mines as well from Kuro, setting himself up. The mutas across the map, they don't do too much damage. They harass the production, but that's it. And Kuro's going to be rotating towards the south. He's going to be cleaning up a lot of this creep.
Yeah, he's cleaning the creep, but also the mutas will have no way to come back other than going straight to his army, but they are not thinking about that. They are doing more damage to the mineral lines.
Yeah, exactly. 6 SCVs go down. We're denying any kind of mining at that third base location as well. The mines are repositioning here. Kuro just getting ready to keep on pushing his Thors. His Marines back at home do force back the mutas, but Reynor, he just dives from the third back into the main. Again, he's just being as annoying as possible.
Yeah, he's trying to keep as much attention of Kuro back home as possible. He's trying to do little bits of damage, but those little bits do add up over time. At the same time, Kuro is trying to set up once again that siege position, but the Ling Bane is here.
Ling Bane is here. Both players are maxed. Both players have some pretty hefty armies. 3-3s on the way for Kuro. Hive still on the way for Reynor. He is behind in his upgrades. He's going to be behind in his tech.
Yeah, but I mean, not quite yet, as they are still at 2-2 for the time being. The Ling Bane is still trying to roll into this bio. It does get some connections, but doesn't clean up the army yet.
Oh yeah, but the Banelings are looking, they're getting even closer here. Mine shots are going to be going off, but it's not going to be enough. With the reinforcements, Reynor does get forced back.
Yeah, and Kuro will keep this position. The mutas have come back as well, I believe, and yeah, Kuro is just really trying to siege this position. We will be cleaning this mineral line once again, and the base will be in danger.
I mean, this is like one of the most important locations of this map, just because it gives you access to the third base, into the natural, gives you access to the center base as well. It is so difficult to deal with. Mutas, once again, they go for a big counterattack. We have some CCs on the way. We have a couple of turrets in position. A lot of turrets here in the center base. Not so much here on the right-hand side, though.
I guess that was the most forward base, so Kuro decided to protect it quite well, but He does not protect the other one, and the CCs that are still being built will be denied.
Oh yeah, can we cancel in time? It looks like, oh, we barely can cancel it. At the same time, Reynor going for a massive Ling run by as well. He's just ignoring that center army. He knows he can't deal with it, so instead he's going for some SCV kills.
Yeah, Kuro is trying to set up a last second Sim City, but he is not quite able to do so, and 20 workers will fall down as the Lings are barely being cleaned up.
Yeah, at the same time, the Mutas dive into that right-hand base as well, so Reynor is completely annihilating the economy here of a Cure. The Mutas are getting caught out a little bit, but 23 SCVs, that is well worth it here for Reynor.
Yeah, and suddenly, like, things are not looking that bad for Reynor, right? Like, he's being sieged on this base, he's receiving a lot of damage, but he has killed so many workers of Cure throughout this game.
Yeah, but
and
now
he keeps doing more.
Now he has to be careful though, because we have almost a super maxed army. Mine shots are going to be barring. They don't quite go off their bailings. They do roll in, but no, they don't find the connections.
Yeah, most of the Banelings are being sniped down, and it looks like this army will still stand. It's not that big of an army, but it's a pretty strong one. More Banelings are rolling in, but once again, they are being sniped down.
Yeah, with the arrival of these lurkers, though, it looks like Cure is going to be cleaned up. At the same time, we have a massive Muta run by or flyby here at the natural base. At the same time, a northern army of Cure is taking down one of the fresh mining bases of Reynor. So both players are still hurting. Reynor, with these lurkers, he should be able to hold on to that third. Oof.
Yeah, he's cleaning most of this army from Cure, so he will be holding to that third, but the drop is just moving straight into the main base, and there's all the tech there.
Yeah, all the tech is there in the main. The Muta's coming back in, looking for even more damage. Mine shots won't be getting any friendly fire, but lurkers have arrived, and with these lurkers, again, Cure, he just can't push in.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Mutas are still trying to find damage. They don't do quite a lot of it, but still annoying to lose that gas mining, and maybe even a few SCVs here and there. But yeah, like, Cure had this whole army, and like he's doing damage to Reynor, but his bases are suffering.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, Cure is falling behind economically, but he has a really large army, and he's trying to make use of that. He's trying to flex that. He's trying to break his opponent. He goes for a scan. Only one lurker is in position, so Reynor's looking a little bit vulnerable here. The Mutas also get caught out by the Thor.
Yeah, and Kuro is trying to attack in two different places as well. He's trying to put pressure on that middle base once again, and he's clearing the entire middle line. 15 drones are going down.
Yeah, 15 workers go down. We drop into the main base as well. The drop into the main shouldn't find too much damage, but Liberators go ham here towards the south. They're going to be picked off by those Mutas, but Cure is still looking for more ground. He still doesn't really have an answer to these lurkers. We need ghosts more than anything. Without ghosts, it's going to be so difficult, but we ignore them.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we get any ghosts, but we do get the base down, and another one of Reynor's is falling as the army of Cure is still standing.
Yeah, Cure, he just ignored the lurkers entirely. He just focused on the hatchery instead, and he does get the base, and Reynor thankfully has the southern bases instead. He's still looking pretty good when it comes to his worker count, so at 80 workers, and both players have been able to remax once again.
I like how Cure just packed up his entire army, including the Thors, that just went straight for the main base, but there was army from Reynor prepared there. At the same time, these Mutas are once again doing more harassment, trying to snipe these turrets to maybe get some more damage done.
Exactly. They try to snipe some turrets, try to cause a little bit of chaos in the bases of Cure as he goes for some scans. He sees the wall of lunkers, and he's on a little bit of an A move. He actually walked a little bit too far forward there and takes a lot of hits on his Thors. The ghosts arrive.
Yeah, but now we have these ghosts in there. I mean, they will be able to help with the lurkers as long as they can get in the range of them. This is actually a nice position from Reynor on the high ground, but it shouldn't take too long before Cure figures it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, these snipes are going up and a lot of lurkers are going down. Reynor should have abandoned this position. He stuck around a little bit too long. He just lost the majority of his lurkers.
Yeah, and the drones as well. And yeah, he's suffering a lot of damages, and the army of Cure still stands. He might have suffered some losses, but most of it is still there. He
just lost 6 lurkers. He has 7 lurkers left. Thankfully, he's making 5 more behind this. That's a kill, not a cancel on that building CC. The Mutas once again go across the map. The repairs were not in time. The turrets go down.
Yeah, the Muta Cloud has overpowered the defenses of the Terran and just going for all of the SCVs at this base and even the buildings. And at the same time, this attack from Kuro does nothing as the Lynx are there to clean it up. And
Yeah.
Kuro is forced to move home.
This may have been one of the winning moves here for Reynor. He annihilates a mining base. He forces Kuro to turn back around. He was being so active with his army, but he just can't move out here. Not with these meters around. He finds the ghosts.
Yeah, some of them will be going down as the Mutas are still doing more damage. Still SCVs are falling, and Kuro is trying desperately to defend his bases, but he's suffering so much.
And that may have been it. He just lost 8 ghosts. Ghosts are so expensive. They take so long to rebuild as well. Suddenly, Kuro, he plummets in the army supply. For the most part, he was able to keep up with Reynor, but now he is running out of steam. He's running out of army. He's gonna have to back off, be stuck at home to try and remax.
Yeah, and throughout all these attacks, like, because the Mutas have been denying so much at home, like, Kuro has not been expanding either. Like, he's been stuck on these few bases that he has, and he's been making all these CCs, but they were being taken down, and now Reynor just rose straight into the base.
Yeah, exactly. A tank goes down instantly. We do have a scan. Can we get any of these snipes off here for... Oh no, we moved too far forward. A ghost goes down instantly at the same time. Ling counterattack at the same time. Mutas go into the main base. Kuro is being pulled apart.
Yeah, every single base of Kuro is being under attack, is suffering damage, and it looks like this army is really just in the corner, trying their best to defend, but I don't know for how long he can do it.
Yeah, unlike Dragon Scales, there are a lot of maps on Gressfan. There are so many untapped bases. Sorry, so many bases on Gressfan. There are so many untapped bases here. And Reynor, he can just keep expanding. He can keep this up. He is nowhere near being starved out. Kuro, on the other hand, is. As Banelings crash on into another mineral line, Kuro cannot keep up. He's losing everything. And as a result, he's soon to be on his last legs. He has a really solid army, but he can't use it.
Yeah. And he's not gonna be remaking this army either. Like, that was basically the entire mining of Kuro. Like, he has no SCVs at the third. The fourth is like barely mining, but it's constantly under attack. And yeah, that was basically his entire income.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it looks like these mutas are gonna get caught out at least a little bit here, which is nice. Kuro, he can hope for some good fights overall, but it's going to take a lot for him to take this game. He needs to take like an absolutely insane fight. He gets a couple of snipes off, who was able to pick up just in time as well. Very nice control here towards the end.
I mean, that is definitely something we learned, that Kuro has some great control when it matters, but his core army is surrounded and the Zerg is once again in his base.
Yeah, the lurkers are just leapfrogging forward. They take down the tanks. They're looking to take down the ghosts as well. The snipes are insane. And Kuro takes a very efficient fight, sniping every single lurker.
It looked like really like Reynor is just gonna roll straight over him, but no, with all these snipes, Kuro actually is able to hold this, and he's even doing damage on the Reynor side of the map.
It's just like the last game. He's hoping for Reynor to overextend to take a bad fight, and now he's counterattacking. Now Kuro can be the aggressor. We can see bases falling left and right. Kuro has a lot of momentum going his way. He has a large army. Kuro doesn't have an economy. He's all in with this, but he is doing a lot of damage.
He definitely is. And now it's his time to pull Reynor apart, as he is dropping. Actually snipes the Viper as well, but he's dropping in the main. He's putting pressure on the south of the map as well, and yeah, we'll see how much damage he can do, because we have to remember he still is pretty far back in the economy.
Oh yeah, he really is. If he's able to get this top right-hand base up and running, then he can come back, but we can see, oh, he can't afford to lose this army. The Marines and Marauders are all going to be hunted down by the Mutas, by the Lings, by the Lurkers. Only a handful of units remain, and they all get cleaned up. Up.
Yeah, this other small force is still working, but it will also be facing the Zerg, and not much of it is being saved by this Medivac, so there's... I honestly don't know. I just don't know. Like, after last game, like, we thought that Kuro was dead last game as well, and then he just didn't die.
Yeah, I mean, he has a pretty decent army right now. He's gonna be... he's gonna try to hold on to his southern base. We have a massive Ling counterattack here as well. Reynor has to be very careful. I want to believe that he's kind of learned his lesson from last game. I do think that Reynor should just back off and remax. I think it's a difficult choice to make though, because Kuro is taking a fresh base. If he gets this base up and running, he's still in this. He's very much still in this game.
Look how many ghosts he has.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Reynor will be denying this base, and the tanks are set up in front of it as well, so it seems like Kuro will be able to secure it.
Does. Meanwhile, we have massive Ling run by Benoit. Gets caught out by the army. The Mutas are going to have free reign here of the south, though. They take down tanks, and there was not enough left back at home. The Mutas wreak havoc. They're going to get so much value. So many pickoffs. They were able to get 3 tanks, a ghost, and a good chunk of marines. Well worth it here for Reynor, crippling the army of Kuro. And this is dangerous because Kuro is heavily reliant on being as efficient as possible. He needs to fight as best he can, and that was a rough moment. He does go for the scan, but he has no ghost with his army. He cannot jump on top of these lurkers. And Reynor is refining his army. He's going for investors.
Yeah, and at the same time, he's still doing more damage. He's still using his mutas. He's still using his link round base, and every time he can, he's doing more damage at the back of the base of Kuro, and every bit of damage hurts.
Every bit of damage, it does mean something, but now can Kuro come back in this game? The Mutas, they do dive in. There are ghosts around, but alas, they just aren't close enough to get any snipes off. It looks like Reynor, he gets a tank free and is able to back off out of there just in time. And now the main army of Reynor, he's maxed out. He's looking for another fight. He's looking for a way in.
And he will try to look for it, but there are enough tanks and they are well spread out, so Reynor does not want to lose too many units in this attack.
Yeah, exactly. As it looks like Kuro's going to be moving out with these marines. He does come across the mutas at least. Again, Kuro, he wants to try to punish this mining base, but the muta cloud is in position to defend it. Likewise, the lurkers are here towards the north as well. Kuro's having a hard time pulling apart Reynor, as Reynor is quite secure here on his 2 fronts.
He's quite secure and he's still on the offensive. He's still trying to find more damage with this Linkbane Muta army, and Kuro actually is able to secure another base, it looks like.
Yeah, if this base gets up and running, I would say that Reynor's in trouble. And he knows that as well. Here we go, the lurkers are pushing on forward, trying to deny this northernmost base, but the ghosts are here. We have to respect them.
Yeah, and respect them he does. And he still tries to do something in the main base, but I mean, it's nice, but really the game is they're now playing in the north.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of these things where we may see a world where Reynor actually kills the main, and we're gonna have to like fly our production over here instead towards the north. Like we may have to rotate bases around here if things get too crazy. If Kuro is unable to like spread himself enough to be able to defend his southern area. Meanwhile, Reynor, he's also taking some of these bases as well. He's taking the southernmost base, so Reynor, he's already got a pretty good bank, and he's going to be building it up even more.
Honestly, I think you should just do it. I think you should just
lift
move
everything up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this base doesn't matter to him anymore. And it will be much easier to defend everything if it's like closer in one place.
Yeah, that has happened before. We have seen players like Spirit and players like Oliveira just go for the big migration, but here we go, Lings run into a wall of tanks. Not the best trade for Reynor, but he can afford to lose Lings. The Mutas, meanwhile, are actually going towards the north, and there's a lot of free tanks.
Yeah, there are the free tanks, but there are turrets, and there is a little bit of the bio army, which is enough to scare the Mutas off for now. The ghosts are now arriving as well.
Yeah, he gets another ghost though. He gets another tank as well. At the same time, the lurker army is looking to threaten, looking to find a way in. Maybe even try to get a bit of a surround going.
Yeah, but so far the position of Kuro is pretty strong, and I feel like with every minute it is only getting stronger.
Yeah, like this is getting better and better for Kuro as time goes on. But we'll see how that does all unfold, because we still have infestors, we have fungals available. Like there's a lot of potential in Reynor's army as he goes for another big flyby in towards this wall of turrets.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. He gets a rats.
Hey, that's good. See, this is what I said. He should have migrated it so it wouldn't fall as prey to the mutas.
Yeah, but for the time being, he's going to be holding on. I mean, he has to protect his tech structures, his upgrades as well. Meanwhile, the mutas, oh, they overextend a little bit as, oh my god, a decent chunk of mutas do go down.
Yeah, and I feel like Kuro is really establishing his position here. Like, look at this line, like, on the minimap. I think, like, his position is becoming actually really solid.
Yeah, we have a wall of tanks and turrets. The mutas are trying to find a way into that line, though. They find a tank. They're going to get a second tank as well. Like, this muta card is pretty insane. Like, we're getting quite a lot of value. What is that? 4 tanks go down.
Yeah, that is a really nice value, but at the same time, like, because everything is starting to get more condensed towards the top, like, it's that much easier for Kuro to respond and to move his army around to defend from those mutas, but not without losing a lot of units, though.
Yeah, exactly. What was that? 4 tanks, 9 ghosts went down as well. That is brutal. Oh boy, as we do see the rest of the army rotating over, as you were saying, Kuro, he does want to shut down this mining hatchery, but I don't think Kuro actually knows. Okay, he does. He's aware of the southern base.
Yeah, he is, and the thing is, I think it's a little bit far for him to deny it right now. I feel like Kuro will be moving quite slowly and, like, more about securing the positions over the map, but yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad.
Yeah, now that he's taken out top left, it becomes, where does Kuro go from here? He can either rotate towards the south, deny the southern base, or he can try to keep on pushing and try to break one of the more critical bases here of Reynor to push in towards the main. He's got options, but it looks like he's rotating over towards the south instead. He's going to try and deny the fresh mining bases of Reynor. Where is he?
Yeah, which is definitely a great move because, especially considering the previous games, like Reynor will like use his units as much as he can, but at some point he will run out of these resources. So if Kuro can deny him this mining base, then that would be great for him.
Really will. Meanwhile, we are transitioning. We're trying to go into Broodlord Infestor as we speak. A lot of these lurkers are going to get sniped. Kuro getting in position here, but the Broodlords don't care. They are looking to lay siege upon the tanks towards the northern portion of the map, where Kuro he's not ready for this. He doesn't have his ghost in position.
Yeah, I mean, he is currently attacking the base on the bottom, and the Broodlords are kind of left unattended, and they will go straight through this turret forest.
Yeah, turrets go down, tanks are going to be going down. Oh, but ghosts are around here. They're looking for those snipes, and they're going to be going off.
Yeah, they're going around to try to get the best angle possible, but I'm not sure if they're able to snipe enough Broodlords here. A lot of them are still alive.
Well, the Broodlords are alive. Meanwhile, the southern base has fallen. We do see the Broodlords trying to push on forward. They do get a lot of tanks here. They're able to get 3 tanks and 2 of those ghosts.
Yeah, but... yeah, I don't know. Like, this Broodlord force is actually a problem, and now the rest of the army of Reynor is rolling in as well. The ghosts are just escaping the scene, and Kuro keeps pushing on the south, but he will be losing his bases.
Yeah, we're going for a base trade. So both players are losing their critical bases. These top bases are so important for Kuro. Likewise, these bottom bases were really important for Reynor, so no one is going to be really mining. As we see Kuro expanding towards the south and Reynor expanding towards the north.
Nice. They're switching sides again.
They are.
Shaking my head.
Oh, but this is a massive Ling counterattack, and Kuro isn't quite in position. One tank is going to be going down. He has thankfully left some Marines, though, and it looks like he's going to be able to hold on here against that Ling counterattack.
Yeah, it looks like they will be expanding next to each other, so we have a very interesting position here for both players, but I think Kuro will have a better siege here. At the same time, Reynor is mining at the top base, and there are a lot of Broodlords there now.
That's the thing, like, Kuro has to deny one of these hatcheries. He cannot just let his opponent expand freely the way that Reynor is, but because of that, Reynor still has a really big bank. He's got a lot of minerals, he's got a lot of gas to work with as well. Looks like the mutas have all been cleaned up. Finally, that was a big thorn in Kuro's side. Now we can focus on these main pushes, on these big fights instead, but there's still a lot of links for that counterattack. Oh.
Yeah, he definitely has to be aware of that, and I'm not sure if he is. This base does look very vulnerable to the link attacks, and
Yeah.
he's trying to move his entire army to fight the main army of Reynor, but he may just lose the bases in the process.
Yeah, thankfully for Kuro, the Lings actually don't head towards that base. They're going to be catching some reinforcements. They catch a tank instead. And this will notify Kuro about the marauding Ling army that's out there, and he's going to be a little bit more attentive about it as he is reclaiming control of these northern bases. And he's going to be focusing on trying to assault these Broodlords. Looking at the army, we have how many? We have only 2 Infestors. That's dangerous. That means one good EMP will deny those Fungals, but that's a lot of Banelings.
Yeah, Reynor just morphed an entire army of Banelings, but they are not ready yet. They will still need a few more seconds, and the army of Kuro is trying to find a good position here.
Yeah, if we're given a little bit more time, Kuro, yeah, he's able to siege up his tanks. He is in position. He's ready for a fight. The Ghost as well, and here we go. We do manage to land a Blinding Cloud.
Yeah, but we do have some EMPs as well. The Banelings are rolling straight in, and they will be crashing into this army, but how much damage can they do? Oh, we have a Fungal.
We have a massive Fungal on the army of Kuro. His supply is plummeting. It looks like the Thors are going to be able to hold on, though. The Ghosts do survive. The ground army of Reynor has gone down. He only has Broodlords and Corruptors left, and 1 Infestor.
Yeah, but I mean, Kurt doesn't have that much either. He has to save his swords before the Broodlings get to them, but it's not an easy task, and it looks like he will be just able to clean this up.
Yeah, we have 14 Broodlords, and it looks like that is enough to push back Kuro. Kuro trying to find a bit of a better angle. He's going to be able to hold on to the base, but he just lost a lot of his tanks. The tanks are now repositioning, but there's nothing to buffer for these Broodlords.
Yeah. This is a scary fight for both sides, really. As the Link Bane now shows up, and it will be once again rolling into the Terran army, and I don't think there is enough to hold this.
Yeah, it looks like Reynor's finally done it. He has broken the army, broken the bases of Kuro. Kuro was fighting back so hard, but Reynor has gotten out of control. Even if Kuro trades efficiently from here, Reynor even has a bank as well, and I don't think he's going to be losing his Broodlords.
Yeah, I don't think he will. Kuro just isn't able to get quite in range of them, and even with the snipes, he's not able to snipe all of them at once, and they just keep coming.
Yeah, I mean, Kuro's down to only 4 ghosts. He just doesn't have the army. He doesn't have the ghost count to deal with this. He doesn't have what he needs. Reynor, this time, as opposed to the previous game, Reynor has gone for a much more efficient army. Broodlord Infestor is a late game composition for a reason. We can see Kuro just trying to go for some drop harass instead, doing what he can, but alas, Reynor has done it.
Yeah, the march of the Broodlords, if you can call it that way, just going straight for the bases of Kuro, and I don't think they are stopping. Even that harassment that Kuro is trying to do, I don't think it will really add much when the entire map belongs to the Zerg.
Yeah, exactly. As the Broodlords are looking to break into the natural, eventually into the main base as well. Kuro is doing what he can. He's trying to muster up whatever forces he can. He is still on 4 ghosts, and it's just not really enough to contest against this, as Reynor's even taking some of Kuro's bases.
Yeah, but I mean, Reynor does give a little bit time of Kuro, but he does not back off. He goes straight for the army. The Link Bane once again rolls in, some lurkers as well to help, and it looks like this will be the end of this game.
Yeah, it looks like, again, Kuro, he was broken earlier, and Reynor's just cleaning up all the pieces that were left over as well. Kuro just fighting his heart out. He wanted the 3-0, but GG gets called, and Reynor fights back and puts a point on the board. But boy, did he have to work for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. It almost looked like he's not gonna make it, but he did.
He made it in the end. Oh boy, and we have a series. We have a series on our hands.
I saw this game was like 40 minutes long.
Oh, yeah.
This single game.
Been some long games.
I'm starting to feel like this series will be longer than the entire rest of the tournament.
That's possible. Very possible. But yeah, we have at least 2 more games ahead of us. Reynor is asking for a break, and I don't blame him. He's he needs a moment here to gather himself, to gather his thoughts, to to be able to keep on going. It's been brutal. It's been a very, very long, a very back and forth series. Yeah, I don't blame him, and we are going to be allowing him a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we could use a little bit of a break as well, I guess. But yeah, it was a really long series. After a really long series before that as well, like that has been mostly some really long macro games.
Yeah, exactly, and it can happen on some of these maps. Gresvan is very common. It's very popular for games to go on like this, to go like 40 minutes split map scenario in almost every matchup. Almost every single matchup this does happen. On some of these other maps though, I don't really expect that to occur too much. Let me just quickly double check what maps we have ahead of us. I believe Game 4 is going to be on Babylon, Game 5 on Royal Blood. Yeah, some of these maps I do think that they favor aggression a little bit more. So I don't think we're going to have those games. We're going to have games quite like the ones we just had.
Well, we're gonna find out if that's what the players want. I mean, maybe we will just only get long games for the entire series, and as I said, it will be longer than the entire tournament. But I have noticed there is a pattern where after these really long games, this is usually when cheeses happen. This is usually when the players get tired and they start to get aggressive.
It's possible. It's very possible. Very possible. But yeah, I also did notice as well. I was dropping frames in that last game. I wonder if part of that may have been because I was also Discord streaming at the same time, which probably didn't help.
It probably didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just not too sure which settings to lower. Because usually everything is fine, but.
But was it like in-game frames or?
Yeah, it was in-game. Yeah.
Oh, then I don't know.
Okay. I'm afraid if I touch the wrong setting, it's gonna look ugly.
It's gonna implode.
True. But yeah, it looks like we have a little bit of time to ourselves. So we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we'll have the rest of the series.
Yeah, see you then.
Oh. And welcome to Battle for Americas. It is I, Milk and Cookies. Ha! Psych! I'm the host today, not Light. I'm here joined by Light, actually. I had no idea you were counting down. I thought we were still going through that whole, like, oh, you need permission from Ducklings? So I was just like, oh. And I heard your mic beep, and I was like, oh, crap, he undeafened and unmuted himself.
What do you want? I asked you if you're ready, and you're like, yes.
I was ready, and then you didn't count down right away. So I was like, and then you left. I was like, oh, I guess he left. Like, we're waiting. And I was like, oh, all right then. No, they got to pick up and go. These medevacs are gonna get cleaned up.
Oh, yeah, everything's gonna be going down. The Marauder gets sent down and it's running away because it can't shoot up. Get home, buddy. Get home.
Why are you running?
Oh, can he escape?
Why are you running? StarCraft's like, where's that fucking Marauder? Come here.
Look at his legs go. Oh no, this thing right out.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, literally any damage right now for Patience is going to be incredible. Huh.
Is Patience trying to convert the building? What is happening?
You know, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Let's see what happens. No. Literally nothing.
And welcome back everyone. The break was short, the break has ended, and we are diving back into this series, into the grand finals of the KungFu Cup number 11, round 11, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Babylon, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Abydos. It is Kuro.
And in the top left corner of Babylon, we have our blue Zerg player representing Basilisk and Italy. It is Reynor.
Boy, all right, here we go. Shadows have been lowered, so hopefully we don't really have any of those frame issues once we do end up in a late game scenario. Again, I don't expect that to happen for the remainder of the series, but just in case it does, hopefully things are looking a little bit better. As we have a gas first by Reynor. You were talking about cheese. It is going to be a gas pool opener into eventually hatchery. Very aggressive opener here by Reynor.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, that's what I expect. I have noticed a pattern in a lot of matches where, like, after this, like, really long, really close games, like, players tend to get aggressive just because, you know, you basically don't want to experience that again, you know? You just kind of want to get to it as soon as possible, and that's usually when cheeses happen.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that does come down to the players. I'm sure Kuro is more than willing to actually, like, do that again.
Yeah.
He comes
yeah,
up as that kind of player, 100%.
Yeah, he definitely comes up as like, oh yeah, I just played a game that like lasted an hour. Time to do it again. It's like, nah, yeah, I can see Kuro doing that, definitely. I feel like Reynor is more of a vibe kind of player though. He's more dynamic. He's like, you know, really like into it. So I don't think like that like slow style really suits him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the pros and cons of Reynor. That's why we love him, of course, because of things like that. As there we go, there's gonna be a roach rush from Reynor. That's why we did, of course, prioritize that gas. Meanwhile, Kuro, he dips in. He sees how late the hatchery is. He is now aware of at least the pool first opener. The Lings are dipping in across the map. Marine is in position, though, and Kuro doesn't turn around with his Reaper. It's very important that he checks for the third. It's very important that he checks for the Roach Warren.
Yeah, he did not see any third on the way. He will be now diving into the main base to see for the about that pool and that roach warren, but there are links to deny him, but they're not quite able to stop him.
Oh, as Kuro doesn't commit, he dips in, he backs off, he sees that only one gas was taken, and that is all he does see. And behind this, he's going for a third CC as well, so very economic. He is abandoning the low ground though, so he's still taking this very seriously.
Yeah, he definitely is, and we'll see how it goes for him, as a few roaches are already on the way, the Zerglings are already on the other side of the map, the Reaper goes down, so that is it for the scouting. And I mean, for the at least Reynor should be able to delay this base. I don't want to say deny, because obviously he can lift, but yeah.
Yeah, this is already quite a bit of damage that's being dealt. The roaches are about to arrive. Reynor hasn't droned at all. By the way, he's all in. He's looking to end the game. His goal here is to bust through the wall and for Lings to flood on in afterwards as well. And this was a very greedy, very economic opener out of Kuro. This is best case scenario for Reynor.
Yeah, and we'll see what he can do with that, as Kuro is still making SCVs out of that orbital. That's a little bit sad, because that SCV will have to really struggle to go up, but it just manages to hide behind the wall, and the wall is closed in time as well.
Yeah, but the wall is soon not about to be a wall, as the Roaches and Ravagers have rocked up. The depot goes down. Link spotted. The boys are being pulled as we speak. We can afford to lose SCVs. Bear that in mind. Oh, as the Biles connect with the Marines.
Yeah, taking quite a few of them as well. The Cyclone is now here, but the Zerglings are still munching on the CVs, and the Roaches are still coming.
Yeah, they are still coming, but we're getting some of the Roaches. The Cyclone is putting in a lot of work on this army, but Kuro is losing too much. He's losing too many workers. It looks like Reynor has done enough damage, and he's not done yet, as the Lynx keep on flooding in. There's only one Marine left, one Cyclone, and one Viking.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is that Kuro does have the two orbitals. The other one is burning though, but yeah, I think it will go down. I don't think he can quite fix it in time. He has to be really careful about that. So he can throw down quite a few mules, but can mules make up for 24 SCVs?
That is going to be the question. As a couple of SCVs are being pulled here to repair. They're going to try out, but the Lings are here to deny it again. Reynor, he does not want to allow Kuro to repair this CC. He wants to make sure it burns.
He's just watching it burn.
He is. He's forcing Kuro to float the CC over towards his main base, and there we go. He's going to be able to repair. He's going to be able to keep this alive. But Kuro has half the worker count of Reynor right now. Sure, he has triple mule production, but that is... It's still going to be a tough ask here for Kuro.
Yeah, I don't think Muros are that good, despite what the Yaku says. And I mean, it will be difficult for Cure, but we have to keep in mind that Reynor was also pretty all-in during that attack. He wasn't making workers himself, so it's not like he's like, you know, eons ahead in the economy, but he definitely will be putting a lot of pressure on Cure, and Cure still does not have a lot of units.
Well, Reynor's going for a second wave. He's cut workers here at 30. He's making nothing but Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers. He's going to be looking to try and break Cure again, and I feel like this second fight is going to be easier for Reynor. Like, he has so much army supply. Cure is going to try and go for a counter drop instead, and that just means that there's less at home to defend. As he does see the Ravager, so he should be able to recognize that, yeah, the army is coming, that he needs to turn back around.
Turn back. Around. Yes? No? Yes. No. We're not turning back.
He's catching some reinforcements, which helps. But again, the wall is about to be knocked down. And once again, the Lings can just flood on forward. There just is not enough here to defend, even if the boys are pulled. Even with these 3 Hellions as well, these Lings are going to get out of control. Roaches, they bust into that main base as well. And yeah, Kuro, he was just very lax with his scouting, very lax with what he was seeing earlier. And he's losing everything again.
Yeah, all the SCVs are going down. Even if this Zerg army gets cleaned, like that's entire mineral line of Cure, of both of his bases, really. He has 5 SCVs left to the 30 of Reynor, and yeah, I feel like this is an actual game-ending damage.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way to recover from here. Of course, we have Cloak on the way, and we have Banshees, and nothing shoots up. But Cure is being fueled by Copium right now, and you know, it's a very powerful jug. It's a very powerful Terran jug, the Copium, but it's not powerful enough to come back from 7 SCVs.
They should put it into Steam Pack.
They should.
What would be Marines on Copium? Would they just not die?
Yeah, they'd be stuck on 1 HP.
That sounds kind of good, actually.
Oh god,
Just undying Marines on 1 HP.
Yeah.
I mean,
here we go. The Banshee dives in, and the Spore finishes up just in time as well. So the Banshee is going to have a hard time finding damage. We're going to be able to pick off a couple of drones here and there. We get eyes on the Spire, but really that's going to be the nail in the coffin. If we get into muta production, then this Banshee is going to go down. But we do see, or the army is going to go down. But we do see Banshee being focused. Sorry, the Spire being focused.
and Pierre decides to still play out this game. He still tries to set up his base. He's defending from the Zerglings. The Banshee is trying to get some damage, but I don't think he caught a single worker there, and the Banshee eventually does go down.
And the Banshee goes down. Kyria's going to be sending everything he has across the map as we speak. He has been able to muster up an army. He's got 6 Hellions, he's got a Marauder, 4 Marines, a Banshee, a Cyclone, a Medevac, and a little bit of everything is going to be involved here.
Yeah. I like how it's like a salad of units. There's a little bit of everything there, you know?
Yeah, a nice, good garden salad. Maybe even a fruit salad, you know? Just a little bit of every fruit. Hey, Banshee across the map is doing quite a bit of damage, actually. Decent drones.
Yeah, this time because Reynor was so aggressive, he actually did skip those spores that he normally has, but now it's time for Queens to save the day, and we have a drop alert as well.
We do have a drop alert. It looks like Reynor wants to load up those Queens and zoom across the map. It looks like he just wants the game to end. He just wants to kill his opponent for the final time. Banshee's being quite annoying here, but Reynor is getting ready for his push. Oh, the Overlord is going to get caught out.
Yeah, and the drop does not get denied, but the Queens will be stopped, and it looks like Kuro will be able to delay it quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, Reynor has to be so careful with this Overlord. He actually switches the Overlord instead. I love that. Just for a healthier one instead. The Vikings, though, they're looking to hunt it down. They do find the Overlord once again. They're going to be zoning this away. They're going to be slowing down the push.
Yeah, and every minute, every second is more units for Cure, more forces that he can muster for defense. It's still not gonna be a lot, but maybe, just maybe, he can hold it.
Yeah. As even without the Queens, the Roach Ravage army has arrived. Biles are going to be connecting here on the army, on the add-ons as well. A tank finally does arrive, but this tank has to be very careful not to be bowed down.
Yeah, but even when it's not, the Zerglings are there to finish it off. The Roaches are here, the Ravagers are in the base, the SCVs are falling down, the Banshee is trying to do its best, but GG is caught, and we do have a tied up score.
GG, well played. We are going to the ace match.
Yeah, we will be going to the game 5 of our best of 5 today. And I'm ready for it to be a 2-hour one.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. The final game is going to be on Royal Blood. That is where everything will end, and yeah, Kuro just was a little bit overconfident when it came to his defense, lax when it came to his scouting, didn't know what was happening until it was too late, didn't see the Roaches until they were already across the map as well, so Kuro was just in the dark. As a result, Reynor was able to pull off that all-in, completely cripple the economy of Kuro. And yeah, we'll see if Kuro can bounce back here in the next game. Clearly, he's willing to play it out. Clearly, he's willing to just grind it out as best as he can. And we saw that on Dragon Scales. Remember, Dragon Scales, we thought he was dead, and he just was very persistent. It's very persistent.
Yeah, he just didn't die, you know?
Then he won. You know?
Yeah, that's how we do it. I mean, who is gonna believe in you if not yourself?
True. Kuro, he has that belief. Is it going to be enough, though, to win him the tournament? Or can Reynor bring it all back here? He was down 2-0. Can Reynor pull off the reverse sweep, the reverse all kill?
I guess we will find out as we are now getting ready for Royal Blood. And we will see where this series ends. Will this be a quick cheese? Will this be a 50-minute game? We will find out as soon as this loading screen finishes.
Here we go. The final game, the final map of this best of 5 grand finals. We're here to crown a KFC champion. Who gets that bucket of chicken? Who gets it?
Shaking my head. Well, will this be first of our contestants, the Red Terran player representing Abydos, or Team NV, depending which one you prefer, and Korea, it is Kuro.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponent. We have the Italian Zerg player representing Team Basilisk, coming back from the brink of death, bringing it back 2 games in a row here to the ace match. It is Reynor.
So I just want to say, when I see NPT Kuro, for some reason I feel like this is like some shortcut for some TV station. Like NTV. my brain just like replaces the letters.
Shaking my head. I haven't watched TV in years. I actually haven't watched TV in years. It's been removed from my brain.
I watch TV when I'm not home, like when I'm at my family's place or something.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't have a working TV at my home anymore.
I
mean, I own it. It hasn't been on for like years now.
Yeah. I have a TV in my room, but I've only ever used it for like Switch, for the Nintendo Switch. That is the only reason why it's been used. That's it so far. That's it. But we're here. We're in the ace match. We're in game number 5. Regardless, the game will end here and now. Oh boy, and so far, standard openers. This time, Reynor doesn't go for a gas first. This time, there's no fast pull. It is going to be a hatch gas pull opener. Very economic here from Reynor, as he pulls out of gas to be that much more efficient. Likewise, Kuro also going for a Rax Expand. Unfazed from what happened in the last game. Unfazed.
Oh yeah, I mean, we said that last game, that like, out of all the people, Kuro would be the most unfazed person. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I lost, well, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing again. Like, yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. And it's still at a pretty reasonable hour in the land of Korea. You know, it's only 2 a.m. there. Sorry. Yeah, it's only 2 a.m. there. It's fine.
Really?
3 p.m.
I thought it would be later.
That's 3 a.m. here.
Oh yeah, okay.
As we have that first read, we're going to be dancing with the units of Reynor, and once again, Kuro is going for a 3rd CC opener. Oh, even gonna be picking up his racks to hunt down this Overlord.
Are you telling me Cure will play mech?
That's not what this means.
Okay.
But it also could mean, yes, it's possible.
No! I need to.
That's
I
okay.
protest.
He's racing back home now. Unfortunately, this means that he won't be able to add-on swap. Actually, does it line up? Maybe it does. But unfortunately, it means that there was no add-on swap for the factory, so there's no reactor. So we are going to be delaying. We're going to be delaying Hellion production here in favor of killing that Overlord. We're also going to be. It looks like it's not going to be a Banshee opener as well, if that's the case.
That would be a first. So far in every game, Cure has been going Banshee.
Yeah. So again, because of like lifting up that Rax really slows down the build. So we do have the reactor on the way on that Rax. We do have a tech lab being built on the starport as well. So it looks like we can go into Banshee production. There we go. He's going into Banshees. This is just later than normal, just because of the Rax.
Maybe later than normal, but the Hellions do get into the natural and they will be frying some of the drones. Only 3 of them die in the end, but still it was a pretty decent dive from Cure, but he did lose those Hellions in the process.
Yeah, I don't think that was quite worth it. 3 drones for 2 Hellions. That also means the follow-up push is going to be weaker as well, so... Yeah, good trade here for Reynor as he is going into his lair. Now, this is a more reasonable lair timing. This was around a 4-minute 30 lair timing. If you remember, when he went into Mutas on Gressvan, it was like around 4:15, so far earlier.
Yeah, this one is much more standard, and now Cure will be moving out with a few Hellions and those Banshees on the other side of the map, but as you said, losing those 2 Hellions will actually hurt this push a little bit, but maybe he can still get something done.
Yeah, he's still pumping out Hellions as we speak. We have Stim on the horizon, so it is going to be Bio. It is not going to be Mech. There we go. 2 more Raxes are thrown down. And Reynor's just playing this out very safe. You know, we have spores all over the place. We have the Baneling Nest on the way. Once this lair does finish, we can start morphing in those Banelings. Sorry, we can start on Baneling speed. Meanwhile, Cure does something very interesting. Something that we haven't seen at all. That's an armory.
Ooh. Okay, that can work quite well, especially with Reynor dedicating himself to Linkbane this time instead of the Roaches, and with how many Hellions the Cure has been working on, it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, this is going to be a hellbat push, and here we go. The Hellions, they do run past the Queens, and every single Queen's going to be going down. They do focus on one of the Banshees just in time, but 3 Queens will fall. And Cure is going to be busting up this ramp. Banelings are on the way. We have 5 Banelings being morphed in as we speak. How good are the connections going to be, though? Up!
Yeah, they don't have speed, so Cure is able to split around them, and he will be able to kill most of them. The Hellbats are damaged, but they are still alive and still doing damage.
Yeah, but the Queen's going to be able to clean this up. This push has been thwarted. And was that worth it for Cure? He wasn't all in by any means. What did he get done? He killed 5 Queens, which is a good amount of Queens. Didn't really get any worker kills though. Did trade against the Lings. In the end, I'm sure he wanted a little bit more damage though.
Yeah, he probably did, as now Reynor has... He can like work on his drones, he can work on his tech, he's getting his Hydra then, so I assume he's going to be going for Lurkers afterwards as well.
This is crazy. Reynor, he skipped Baneling speed. He skipped Baneling speed. He's going for 1-1. He's going straight into a Hydra Den. As you were saying, he could even go straight into a Lurker Den from here. This is very wild. This is very unorthodox.
I guess he didn't go for Roaches, so he had to add some different flavor to the game.
This is looking like Miyamaika's Ling Hydra. But Miyamaika doesn't have a Baneling Nest. That's the thing. Reynor got his Baneling Nest for safety. But yeah, Ling Hydra is very interesting. It can be very potent. It can be very powerful. There are certain timings that you can hit where you can catch the exposed tanks. Yeah, really interesting play here from Reynor.
Yeah, and he's still not getting the Baneling speed, so he will be relying mostly on Zerglings, it looks like. I mean, to be fair, if there are Hellbats, then like, you know, the slow Banelings don't matter as much because they're both kinda melee range, but yeah, it looks like it will be mostly Lings.
When you said that, in my brain, I think of like a cardboard, like a cardboard like Hellbat, like in a race with a slow bailing. They're both like waddling down the down the road.
Just running.
Yeah, well, they're trying to run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean they're running. They're just not very fast.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
Good.
Big mine shot does go off here. Reynor, again, he's focusing on Ling Hydra. A lot of his gas is being spent on Hydras here. The Lings are to shut down the army. The Hydras are the main DPS force here, and this is going to be confirmed. And oh my god, the medevacs!
Yeah, the medivacs are met with the Hydras, and the Hydras are chasing the Hellbats down now. The Widowmine is not able to stop them because there is detection, and this army is actually chasing Kuro back.
Yeah, 2 medevacs go down in the blink of an eye. That was a big loss for Kuro. Kuro doesn't have any tanks. Widowmines are not what you want against this army. Tanks are imperative with Marine Mine instead. Oh god, we could see Kuro in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, the mines can still pack quite a punch, and they will be dealing with a lot of these Zerglings, but the Hydras don't care about them as much, and they will keep doing damage.
And we have more Hydras on the way, 2-2 on the horizon. We have an infestation bit. Again, this does seamlessly transition into lurkers as well, as the pure Hydra army is pushing on forward. Again, very Miyamaka-esque.
It's been a while since I've seen a pure Hydra army, and it makes me kind of happy.
I mean, they can shoot up
like
and they can shoot
Hydra.
down. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like a Marine, but they can't stim, so they're worse.
yeah, they're like a Marine, but slower
Yeah.
and not as OP.
Yeah, they don't do as much DPS, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, as you can imagine, there's a lot of power here behind it, especially without tanks. But we can see that Kuro has identified that. He is pumping out as many tanks as possible. He's trying to rectify and refine his army, but a base is going to be going down, and ooh, it will not survive.
Yeah, the base does not survive, but the Hydras are being chased by the Marines, and it looks like the detection will be taken down. Supply blocking Reynor for a little bit, but the other army is still fighting.
Yeah, the drop does get cleaned up. Now, Reynor has to be careful. He's been bleeding out some of these Hydras, and he hasn't lost too many yet, but they are expensive. So he has to be careful to preserve his Hydra count. Meanwhile, there we go, Lurker Den is on the way. So as Reynor loses some of these Hydras, he can replace them with Lurkers.
Yeah, and that he will do, but at the same time, Kuro is pushing forward, and now he does have those tanks, so Reynor has to be careful about how he approaches this. He cannot go up this ramp with all these tanks sieged.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Kuro has been able to refine his army. Is attempting to expand on location behind this. Very greedy, but it's what Kuro needs to do. The tanks are slowly leapfrogging forward. Lurker Den isn't quite done yet, but it's about to finish up.
Yeah, it's about to is, and Reynor just has to hold a bit longer. He does have the bending speed, so he will be able to try and deal with these Marines, but so far he's not able to get any connections.
Yeah, exactly. Reynor doing a great job of just buying time, waiting for more upgrades to finish up. 2-2 is going to finish up in a couple of seconds here for Reynor. He's not going to be hitting an anti-timing. He will be able to hit with those upgrades. As soon as it's done, he pushes in.
Yeah, he rolls in with all of these Banelings, the Hydras to clean up as well. The Banelings are rolling straight in, but they aren't able to crash into the army, and Reynor's forces are actually not looking that powerful anymore.
A very ill-advised push from Reynor. Pushing up a ramp into tanks with a purely ground army was not the best move, and Reynor loses so much of his Ling Bane. At the same time, a drop on the left-hand side cleans up a hatchery. Reynor is in a bit of trouble, but he still hasn't made use of his lurkers yet. He still has that in his back pocket to help defend against these big pushes.
Yeah, I mean, Kuro has also suffered some losses in this attack, so it's not like his army is without damage, but yeah, with all these tanks still siege, it's very hard to approach it, and Reynor is just pushed back farther and farther.
Yeah, that's why Reynor found so much success earlier, because there were no tanks on the field, but now that they're here, you can see how much they can bully back the ground army of Reynor. Meanwhile, he's setting up a 360 surround. He has an army here on the left-hand side. He's coming in from almost every angle.
Yeah, he's trying to get the full surround as the tanks are spread out quite far away. But does he have enough? I think just barely. He will clean this Terran army.
There's still 2 tanks in the back line. They're getting a lot of volleys off on those Hydras. Reinforcements are coming on in, and Reynor loses a little bit too much. He's forced to back off. Kuro has a lot of momentum going his way, and now he can lay siege upon one of these bases.
Yeah, the reinforcements were key in this engagement, and the reinforcements of Reynor are not quite ready yet, and the bases are now in danger. I think Kuro has secured quite an advantage here.
Vipers are on the way now, but it may just be a little bit too late. These two bases of Reynor are going to be going down. He knows he cannot engage. He's going for a massive counterattack, but reinforcements are back at home. Is this enough, though? Can Kuro hold? It looks like he can.
Yeah, the link Baranbai does not go through the bases. 12 drones are falling down. The two bases do go down as well, and Kuro is not stopping this attack.
Yeah, exactly. Reynor, he's down to 4 bases. They are all mining, to be fair, and Reynor still has a bank, and you know what? Here we go. He's spending that bank. We have lurkers on the way. Vipers are now out. They have a good amount of energy as well. Reynor is still in this.
He's still in this, but he is losing more drones, being chased away by these marines, and he is pushed into the corner a little bit. But it looks like Kuro will try repositioning as well. He's trying to regroup his army, so Reynor has a few seconds, a few minutes to breathe, but he will have to be ready for the next wave.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to be ready. Meanwhile, Reynor has to re-drone as well. No, he's going to be staying on a low worker count. He's focusing on his army. That's a lot of lurkers on top of that ramp. Tanks on siege.
Lurkers, but they are still unborrowed. Tanks are siege, lurkers are unborrowed, and the Zerg army is trying to crash into the Terran, but this is enough.
Yeah, we do have some good blinding clouds here on those tanks. Only 3 tanks survive, and it looks like Reynor is barely... can he break on through? It's going to be close.
It's close with the scans. The lurkers are falling to the tanks, but so are the tanks to lurkers, and it looks like just barely Reynor will clean up the Terran army.
Yeah, the tanks get cleaned up, and Marines can't really dive on top of these lurkers, not on their own. Both players are hurting. The problem is that Reynor doesn't have the best economy. He's down to 65 workers, so because of that, he won't be able to remax as well. He has a mineral bank, but he's out of gas.
I mean, the good news is he will be making a lot of links, but yeah, the gas would definitely be helpful in this situation, as Kuro also has time to remake his army. He's adding ghosts to his army now. He's adding liberators, so this will be a bit of trouble, but Reynor decides to just attack right now.
Yeah, he hits the 3rd base here of a Kuro. He's going to be forcing a lift-off. Meanwhile, at the same time, we have a drop across the map. Hatcheries are falling left and right. Reynor has to turn back around. He sticks around with his lurkers, though. He wants to try to find some more damage. He goes for some yoinks.
Yeah, he grabs the tank. He may be even getting some SCVs, but not quite. At the same time, the drop is being chased off, but not cleaned up.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have another double drop here, and Reynor, he's losing so many of these bases. Looks like Kuro is not looking. He will lose his double drop, but he does get a base on the right-hand side. He's continuing to deny these bases. And again, what I'm really concerned about is that Reynor hasn't taken gases. He only has 4 gases to his name. He had more gases here at this 3rd base location, but because he lost that base, he hasn't been able to retake them. There we go. More gases are on the way for Reynor. He recognizes what he's lacking.
Yeah, he does, but maybe it will be too late because he has to deal with these constant drops in all of his bases. It looks like he is able to deny them now, but will he have enough army to face the next wave of Kuro?
Yeah, because the next wave is going to have tanks, liberators, and ghosts. The army of Kuro has become more refined. It is a now more efficient army as well, but Reynor is going to have the numbers on his side as he is triply expanding. He's trying to take every base he can.
I mean, that's what he has to do, right? I also want to point out that I find it cool that, like, early on you said that Reynor is more of like a reactive player in general, but it looks like Kuro is adjusting really well to whatever Reynor is throwing at him. Oof, that was unlucky.
Yeah, that was unlucky for Reynor's. 5 drones go down to that mine. Again, workers that he didn't have a lot of to begin with, but we can see Reynor is currently droning. He's backing off. He's trying to re-establish his economy. Again, we have the gold base on the way, triangular 3rd, left-hand base as well. Kuro likewise backs off to lick his wounds, rebuild his army, and push out with something even stronger.
I'm starting to worry that maybe Kuro gave Reynor a little bit too much time, because as you said, Reynor is able to expand anywhere he wants. He's able to make as many units as he wants, and Kuro may not be quite prepared for whatever that macro spike may give Reynor, but he is starting to push out now.
Yeah, I worry though. The lurkers are really at. These are all the lurkers. They're all at the gold base of Reynor and Kuro. I think he wants to push in. So I wonder what the plan is here for Reynor. There we go. He does unburrow. He's going to be repositioning his army. He's going to be bringing everything together. We have Vipers. We have a lot of Ling Bane. Reynor's going to be ready for this.
He will, but before that he will try to make a run by as well, but there are tanks ready, there are the ghosts as well, which I think he saw, so he should be prepared for that. He's also working on Burrow, funnily enough. I wonder what that one is for infestors, I guess?
Yeah, Burrow is on the way. We can see Liberators leapfrogging forward as well, laying siege upon these bases. We have a Nidus going into the main base. And can Kuro keep up with this, as it looks like Reynor, he wants to dive in. He's leading this with his Vipers.
Yeah, and he went around the army of Kuro. He's getting straight to the tanks, and he will deny quite a few of them, as the rest of the Terran army is actually stuck at the Zerg bases.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like Kuro's army has been broken. The Nidus does go off. It looks like these lurkers are going to be cleaned up though, but at the same time, Reynor is all over this. There is a drop into the main base. We need to do damage here. Can we get anything done though? Because the Lings are coming in to reinforce.
Yeah, the Lings are coming in, and the Banelings as well, and it looks like the drop will have to move out. They did damage the hive, but they did not kill it. The Vipers though are in danger.
Oh, the Vipers are all going to get sniped. That's a very big loss for Reynor. He's losing his spellcasters. That's how he's been able to win some of these big fights. At the same time, gold base is going to be denied. Reynor's going to be able to remax, and he's looking for another fight. He's looking for another way in.
He is looking, but he won't quite be able to find it yet. But this gold base though, it is quite a juicy target instead, and he will be able to clean it up.
Yeah, exactly. The base is going to be going down. Meanwhile, across the map, another Nidus is being thrown down as well. It does feel like Kuro is being pulled apart. He just is spread too far thin, and he cannot hold on to his bases. He's trying to go for some counter drops, but Reynor is all over this. And I don't know what Kuro can do.
Yeah, I don't know either, as he's trying to deny this Nidus in his base, but they keep popping up, and he's not able to expand himself either, so this is being really rough for Kuro here.
I mean, Kuro has a big army. He has a really powerful army, but he can never find a fight. Like, he's just never where he needs to be. We can see he's trying to chase down some of these Hydras as the ghosts get pulled out of position. Like, Reynor's getting ready to push in towards the center instead. He just has so much more freedom. To be fair, I guess this is the tale of the series. If Kuro takes one really good fight, he can still win the game, technically. Like, he's got a lot here.
Yeah, we have seen him taking a good fight before. Like, even when it didn't seem like he's able to do it, he still did. So I wouldn't write him off quite yet, but it does look a little bit rough.
Yeah, it does, as it's just Reynor has so much control of the map right now, has so much momentum. He's been able to get away with these left-hand bases as well. Kuro, though, is focusing on his main push. He's trying to work his way through the center of the map, but as he pushes out, once again, we have more run-bys. Once again, these bases are not going to be able to get up and running. This map, there are just so many different attack paths, and Kuro, he just can't defend them.
Yeah, he's struggling to do so, and Reynor is not going to stop. He's still looking for any areas that he can attack. He's taking all the bases on the map as well. He's starting to spread to Kuro's side of the map, and he's denying his bases.
He is denying those bases time and time again. Kuro trying to keep up. Ghosts do catch some of these Lings, so they're able to trade relatively well. Meanwhile, here we go. Reynor's finally going for the fight. He's coming in from behind, getting on top of the tanks once again.
Yeah, getting on top of the tanks. The Zerglings are here, the Banelings are here, the Lurkers are tagging as well, and the Ghosts will try their best to snipe them, but I don't think they can.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have a good spread here, and it looks like the Ghost should be able to clean up everything else on the ground. But we lost so many tanks in that fight. Can we keep on pushing? We do pick off a good amount of those Lurkers. We're going to be able to take down another one of these bases.
Yeah, to be fair, there are only 2 Lurkers on the map right now, and the rest of the army is still being reinforced, so I guess Q has a little bit of a moment to attack here, but now the Ling Bane is back, and it will be contested once again.
Yeah, once again, the Lings have arrived. We're looking to get a full surround on this army as well, and it looks like we should be able to. The Ghost gets around, and they're going to be cleaned up, and with the death of those Ghosts, I mean, Kuro does have some reinforcements.
Yeah, he does have a lot of reinforcing tanks as well, which definitely will be helpful, but this entire base will be going down. The SCVs are going down, and once again, Kuro is suffering a lot of damage.
Exactly, he is suffering so much, and he's going to be committing to this counterattack. Another run by is going to be crippling his economy as well, and Kuro, he just can't really keep this going. He's going to try to, don't get us wrong, but again, Kuro, he's starved out at this one. He's running out of money, he's running out of resources. What you see is kind of what you get.
Yeah. I mean, what you see is pretty good though. Like, you have to keep that in mind. This is not a bad army, but as you said, like, that's maybe the only army that we really see.
Yeah, Kira's gonna have to trade as efficiently as possible. Thankfully, like, unlike the previous games, Kira isn't being defensive. He's being very assertive here. Like, he's attempting to push out. He's killing bases. Not the most important bases, though. That's the problem. He's gonna get 2 more hatcheries here. Meanwhile, as he does so, Reynor comes in from behind once again, throws down the blinding clouds, covers the majority of these tanks, and Reynor, he resets the tank count again.
Yeah, the entire army of Kuro here is cleaned up. The bio joins in, but I don't think there's enough to fight anymore, and I think finally Reynor will have enough.
There it is. Reynor has enough. GG gets called, and Reynor pulls off the reverse sweep. He pulls off the reverse all kill, and he's going to be this week's KungFu Cup champion.
Well fought. This was a really close series, like really back and forth.
Really was. GG, well played. Oh my god. The distance went all the way to the ace match, all the way to game number 5. And yeah, even in some of these longer games, even in the battle of attrition, Reynor came out on top. GG, well played. Congratulations to Reynor for winning his first KungFu Cup. His first one.
Oh, was it his first?
I think so.
Congratulations. No, it was really, really great tournament round from Reynor. And again, this reverse sweep was intense.
Mm.
Like, it wasn't the kind of series where it's like, oh, I'm gonna throw like 5 different cheeses at him and see which one he defends. No, like, those were mostly like really like late game macro games. So like really intense series.
Oh yeah. Yeah, really intense series, and oh my god, it was a wild back and forth. Took a lot of energy, as you can imagine, from the players,
From all
mainly
of us.
from everyone involved, and yeah, it's really a well fought there by Reynor. Shout out to Kuro though, because he made a series out of it, and you were talking about it as well, about how such a good player Kuro is. He's insane. He's one of the best. He doesn't get a lot of the attention that he maybe otherwise deserves, and you know, he was a good challenger. He was a good challenger here for Reynor. Again, he almost 3-0'd. He almost 3-0'd Reynor.
Yeah, he was very close to do so. Like every game that he played, like maybe except for the all-in game. The all-in game was a little sad.
Yeah.
But like every other game, like he could have taken it. Like it was an extremely close series.
We need to talk about Babylon. It's fine.
No, we're not talking about that.
Oh god, but yes, with that, GG, well played. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in as well. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. All right, I almost forgot, but the predictions did come out, and ooh, we actually had predictions heavily in favor of Kuro. So shout out to the person that did bet on Reynor for winning that many more channel points as well. Congratulations. Oh boy, and yeah, it is currently 3 a.m. here in Australia. I'm insanely tired. It's been a long cast. How many hours? 6 hours? 6.5 hours. Jesus Christ. 6.5.
That was a long one.
Yeah, 6.5 hour casts in the books. I mean, KungFu Cups are usually really long just because both semifinals are casted. So that's typically...
Yeah, and also because the brackets are really big.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of rounds, a lot of matches, a lot going on. But I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Hope everyone had a great time. If you want some more Cranky Duckling action, we are going to be casting tomorrow. or later today, technically, we're going to be covering the last group of ESL Masters Summer. Group D of the open bracket is going to be covered here on the CranKy Ducklings. When is that? Let me just double check. Is it on the calendar? Is it on the TL calendar?
It should be.
It is. Okay, in 14 hours and 43 minutes, in just under 15 hours, we're going to be live on this channel once again with that replay cast of the ESL Masters Summer. So be sure to tune into that. We'll be covering all the matches that were not broadcasted live on the day, as we were casting it live on the day, but last we weren't able to cover every little thing. So a bit of a catch-up cast, if you will, catch-up cast. So yeah, if you're interested, check us out. We're going to be live then and there. Otherwise, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Kuro, let the people know a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I am the greatest casting jersey because I'm the only one. But what I'm really doing is mostly doing the behind-the-scenes stuff for CranKy Ducklings, like all the overlays, like publishing the VODs, like posting on social media, like all that kind of stuff that doesn't involve being on camera, in front of camera. It's a lot of times it is being done by me. So if you want to see more of my work, then make sure to follow the CranKy Ducklings. Make sure to join our Discord where we post about everything that we are up to. And yeah, just follow the other broadcasts. I also have my own Twitch channel at 16 Squad Sanseki, but I don't stream a lot, so I mean you can follow me, but it's mostly just random games whenever I do have time. I also just made a bento. You can check out my bento. I think that website is adorable and I love that. What about you, Light?
Follow me at lat_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I stream whenever I can. I was thinking about maybe streaming before our next cast, but because this went on for so long, I'm probably going to sleep all day. So I don't think I'm going to be able to ladder before the cast. We'll see. We'll see how it all comes to pass, how it all comes together. But yeah, lat_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I stream whenever I can. Otherwise, if you're only interested in the CranKy Ducklings, so follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have YouTube, we have a Discord, we have a Patreon, we have a Discord, and we have a Patreon. We got it all.
Also Discord.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So if you're interested, if you want to hang out outside of just these casts, if you want to join our Discord server and interact, then we do have that available if you wish. Otherwise, it is time for bed. It's time for sleep. Let's go.
Everybody say good night, Light.
Good night. Good night. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Hope everyone enjoyed the tournament in the end. And as a bit of a PSA, we don't know for certain, but that this may have been the final KungFu Cup of the season.
Of the summer season.
Of the summer season, this may have been the final one. So yeah, I mean, we all enjoy some KFC every now and then. It's good stuff. But you know, too much of it can sometimes hurt you. And it looks, I'm pretty sure KungFu Cup is going to be going on a bit of a hiatus, and then when it returns, it'll come back with the next season of WTL, because World Team League is wrapping up this current season. This is the last week of WTL.
I mean, the last week of the group stage of the round robin, and then the playoffs will be in August, I believe.
There we go. The playoffs are going to be in August, so we're going to have a bit of a break while we prepare for the playoffs to make sure that there's no conflicting schedules or anything like that with like the Africa Champions Cup, and everyone has plenty of time to prepare and get ready. So, yeah, definitely something to look forward to. Meanwhile, stick around. We're going to be rating another StarCraft streamer when we wrap up. Who? I'm not too certain. I'm bouncing between two streamers right now, and we may just go for. Yeah, you know, I'll send old mate Dave some love. He's sick apparently,
Okay.
so we'll make him feel better. There you
Okay.
go. Do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night? Gopa, anything you want to say?
One day, I will remember to look up some wise words to say at the end of the stream. But it is not today.
Quack.
Quack.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our next broadcast. Until then, bye.
Bye.